throne of skulls.
Welcome, my friends, to the Eternal Challenger League Season 3, Qualifier number 6, I believe. We're getting pretty deep into the season. Welcome, guys. See some new faces, familiar faces, friends of old, friends of new. Welcome, guys. So today we have a pretty solid competition. The first best of 3 showdown is going to be between Fish, aka A-Move Hacker, and he's going to be facing off against Zyphos. So let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets for today. So again, game 1, it's going to be Zyphos versus A-Move in a best of 3 series. In our second best of 3 of the day is going to be Wicked D, our very own here in chat, facing off against Muckip in a best of 3 showdown. The winners of those 2 best of 3s will be facing off in a best of 5 final. The winner will be elected as one of our elector counts, as you can probably suspect here, and will be added to the list of the grand final. So far we have Falcon, Vicious Satsuma, Undertaker, Hadries, and Aerocrastic. So certainly a very, very tough competitive field, but looking forward to seeing how this goes. Welcome, guys. And for anyone who wants a bit of a history lesson, in the Eternal Challenger League Season 2, Zyphos was actually the winner. So we're going to see if he can come back and defend his strap. Let's go back to the lobby here, get this game on the road here. We're going to be on Altdorf Outskirts, and it looks like it's going to be Empire versus Dwarves. A very, very tough matchup for the Empire, but certainly looking forward to seeing how the Empire tries to deal with it. So a couple donations right when the stream started, so thank you guys so much from King Adizal. So we didn't miss the donation. Thank you so much for the $2, man. And yeah, we got you covered. And from Jack Conroy for the 10, thank you, man. I don't see a message, but nonetheless, I really appreciate the support, and hopefully you're hyped for some ECL. And yeah, this will be the last stream before the glorious Ever Chosen this weekend. So I actually leave for England tomorrow, so we'll be flying out tomorrow afternoon. So I'm trying to get one in. I didn't want to, leave you guys hanging for a week. So I figured let's freaking do it on Tuesday. Let's go deep. Let's have some fun. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. What's up, Sotek? Yes, Lore Master of Sotek will be playing in one of these, either week 7 or 8. We'll figure it out. Yes, it is time. I know this weekend's going to be great as well. Who else rewinded just to see the whole thing? Spiffy Gonzalez. As a matter of fact, it's up on my channel. So for anyone who wants to see that intro, I guess the Doom one from the BFG division, it's up on the channel. You basically just search Warhammer, BFG Division, Doom. I forget what the actual titling of the video is, but it is on my channel. It's back a little ways. Here we go, indeed. But yeah, trust me, guys, I got videos loaded for the entire trip. So while I'm gone in England, I'll be leaving tomorrow, and then I'll be back Monday or Tuesday. I can't quite remember. But nonetheless, I have videos like set for every day. So you guys are going to be covered. I won't leave you hanging. I promise. Yeah, so this is hard. So Amove picked Empire, and he did not ban Dwarves. He actually picked Empire, and then he banned, I think it was like Dark Elves and something else. I can't remember the second faction he banned, but we'll take a look in chat here in just a second. But a very interesting thing to not ban Dwarves. Dwarves are extremely tough for Empire. Granted, Empire hasn't had Marcus Wolfheart nerfed yet, so Marcus is very, very good at sniping Dwarf characters and lords and things like that. So, you know, maybe there's going to be some of that coming in from Amove. Because again, Marcus is about to get slapped with a huge nerf, but if you've been taking a look at the competitive metagame, a lot of Empire lists are using Marcus with like gooning tactics and using like Spirit Leech, and some of the more spicy ones do use the Temple off Luminarch, although that kind of gets into the realm of casual and not competitive. So yeah, very excited for this. When will we see one of the 10 worst ROR? I don't know. I don't think so. It is good timing, Sotech. Yeah, there's nothing like sitting down to a really like a stream or like a video you've been waiting to watch when you have your food. I don't know. It's kind of like the American thing, just like you always have to have something to eat, right? Or to watch while you're eating. It's very much like kind of a old school, old world American thing from like the 50s and 60s, right? So I'm going to be going to England, and we're going to be casting the Everchosen Invitational this weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, we're going to be in Horsham. That's where Creative Assembly's headquarters is, so yeah. It's going to be great. Yes, yes. So hopefully that answers the question for you guys. And no Marcus, actually. Interesting stuff. So for the build of Amove Hacker, who is going under the alias of Fish today, here in the front line, it looks like he does have... Oh, he has some Huntsmen. Oh, and those are the Deathjacks. Deathjacks I actually like. They can sneak up on Slayers, and, you know, they have the snipe ability. They can take out cannon pieces. I actually think that's kind of a cool pick. He has 2 groups of Greatswords, which will most certainly be a priority target here for Xiphos. On the flanks, he does have Sigmar's Sons. Unbreakable, just a solid infantry choice in general, but they have to avoid blasting charges. On top of that, we do also have more Swordsmen here. On the far side, Swordsmen and Swordsmen. And look at this, guys. So Amove Hacker comes in and uses... Yeah, old world American thing is kind of like a bit of a... I don't know, what would be the term, like oxymoron? Yeah, I just woke up literally like 20-30 minutes ago, so bear with me, guys. So he has gold chevrons actually on all of his swordsmen, which puts him up to 40 and 40 for their combat stats. So they'll certainly be able to contend with like dwarf warriors and miners and things like that. But yeah, I'm really interested to see kind of the thought process behind the gold chevron swordsman. That's pretty much it. He does have some mobile troops, Empire Knights here, and in the back he has a big firing line himself. So Free Company Militia, Sterling's Revenge. He has the Deathjacks, who I presume will be kind of vanguarded in the back, maybe pressuring in some way. A couple Spearmen in reserve, and up in the sky we do have Boris Todbringer up on his mighty steed with the Midland Runefang and Crush the Weak. Very cool stuff. Hey Bradley, that's cool to hear, man. Hey Vrondos. I know, absolutely. So for the Dwarf build, and the Dwarves are going to be played by Xiphos, who is usually known as an Elf player, but I think it's just too juicy of a counter pick to not take. So he does have Rangers here, Miners in the front line, Miners, kind of just layers and onions, and you know, that's how Dwarves typically play, right? Longbeard's in the back. He does also have the double dreaded cannon build, and oh no, triple. You know, was it Xiphos, I think, who was playing against Skaven with Vampire Coast in the last Eternal Challenger League, and he brought like triple cannons? Maybe it's like his signature style here, but nonetheless, he's got triple cannons, and he does also have a group of Flamethrower Iron Drakes. And something about Iron Drakes that's quite interesting is I actually started playing a little bit of fantasy tabletop, and Iron Drakes actually, I don't think they have a Flamethrower variant in their tabletop, but nonetheless, it's going to be these bad boys, and they're going to be very good against swordsmen and lightly armored troops, and honestly, from what I've heard, they don't do bad against armor either, so I'm quite eager to see how they do. Dragonback Slayers in the back, obviously anti-large. They have a slowing ability, very good against Empire, you know, big boys like Boris and, you know, Empire Knights, things like that, so great pick as well. And that's pretty much it for the Dwarves. Just a nice little Dwarven semi-box here. A little bit of a wide, thick box with a firing line of 3 Thunderers who are going to be focus firing those freaking great swords into the Shadow Realm. Start when ready. Need to rush. So the reason why he may take Spears against Dwarves did we see Spears here? I don't think we did. Did we? Yeah. So, yeah, Spearmen, I guess, are cheaper. They're just really cheap. I think it's just a cost thing. And secondly, they have pretty good melee defense for the cost. So if you just need like a cheap, annoying unit to just hold a little bit longer, Spearmen cost 300, Swordsmen cost somewhere in the 4s. So it's basically just a cost thing, really. Just to get more bodies on the battlefield to try and swarm a Dwarven gun line, a cannon line, things like that. And in the back, we do also have, I was wondering, I thought that Empire army looked a little bit kind of sparse. He does also have the Zintler's Reichsguard here in the back, a Vanguard unit, pretty good pressure piece, and he does have the Deathjacks in the far corner of the battlefield. So, good luck, have fun. And let's get this first battle of the Eternal Challenger League underway. Let's get that hype built for the Ever-Chosen this weekend. And we'll do it to it. So yeah, certainly a matchup that favors Dwarves, and I think Xiphos, obviously being one of the best players out there, is going to be very, very keen on this matchup, but I'm quite excited to see if we can get a potential upset here, with the Empire maybe taking a victory over the Dwarves. Granted, these are two of my favorite factions, so I can't really root against either of them. So the first cannon volley is going to be shooting in, going after the Great Swords. Great Swords here immediately losing 6 models, so by the time they get there, they're certainly going to have taken a pounding. And it looks like he has 1 cannon on each Greatsword, which is very unfortunate. This is a lot of the stopping power against the Dwarves. Thankfully, though, on Altdorf outskirts, if you look here, you can see there's pretty good cover on the approach. There's like a little bit of a hill, there's some trees, so it's not going to be like they're just an open field. In the meantime, some of the swordsmen, Sterling's Revenge actually crept up here on the side, got a little bit overzealous, and some of these guys are going to get picked off by the Dwarven firepower, so they certainly need to fall back. A move trying to get a little bit sneaky and maybe slip them in there and just have a little bit too much fun. So it looks like there is going to be a Manticore summon coming down from the Amber Wizard. Manticore summons very cost effective. However, I've realized that if you just bring Manticore summons, you often end up with a ton of free Winds of Magic at the end of the battle. So I think he probably should bring like an Amber Spear or something else like that. So Empire forces are collapsing from all angles. Zentler's Reiksguard coming out of the trees, and it looks like Xiphos sees this immediately. He's going to get his Dwarf Warriors in position to try and intercept those guys. What's going on over here? It looks like Toddy up in the sky taking some powder fire. Granted, he does have the self-healing, so he's going to be pretty strong in independent Todd. And it looks like these Sterling's Revenge at the gun line are going to be counterfiring in against the Thunders, but Dwarven Thunders are like made for this. They're so good at just enduring, taking gunfire because of their shields and their armor, and just giving it right back. So Dwarf Warriors, or Longbeards actually, will engage against these gold chevron swordsmen. The Longbeards should still win that pretty handily. And to the back, the Zentler's Reiksguard are trying to force their way in, and it looks like they do actually get on top of the Rangers and also on top of the cannon a little bit. But I think Xiphos has some supporting elements nearby, and if A move doesn't get away with the Reiksguard right now, they're going to get gorilla pounded here by the Dragonback Slayers. Like, that's going to be a really, really wretched situation. So Zentler's Reiksguard need to fall back ASAP. It looks like Toddy getting a very good engagement, however. He does get in on top of some Thunders. There's no punishing support. And the Iron Drakes in the front are roasting some swordsmen. That is like the ideal choice target for them. Lightly armored troops in the front line, just buttering that sweet bread. And yeah, those guys are in trouble. In the meantime, the Manticore Summon has jumped on over to this other group of Thunders, and it looks like a second Manticore Summon is going to be coming down to go after the Dwarven gun line. So the Empire is certainly pressuring pretty well, and look at this, guys. The Greatswords have actually gotten in. This is actually really bad for the Dwarves. The Greatswords have gotten in. They haven't taken too much firepower. I mean, they're at about 80%, 85% apiece, give or take. But if they can get in there, start fighting through some of these miners and get onto the cannon pieces, that would be huge. Because Dwarves don't really, aside from the gun line, have too many tools against them. So really for Xiphos, the important thing here is to stabilize his gun line. Get the Manticores off, get the Thunders firing at the Greatswords, and from there he should be in relatively good shape. In the meantime, though, Toddy's still going deep in the back line, having a good old jolly time going after the cannons and doing some pretty good work. And look at this, Deathjack's coming out with an ambush and jumping on top of these Thunders here. In the meantime, some free company being chased off on the flanks, but really not that big of a deal. So pretty even battle. I actually think that A-Move's playing a really, really good game. He's been able to avoid a lot of the pressure with his Reiksguard, who are still hammering in. And look at this, a juicy Reiksguard charge right onto that cannon, getting some great value, but we do have some Dwarf Warriors surging back here. But for the most part, he knocks off the cannon, he gets on top of the Iron Drakes, which is great. And that's certainly going to be taking some pressure off these Greatswords, who actually looks like they took a huge, juicy volley right there, which is quite punishing as well. So there's no more Manticore Summon, so the Empire is pretty much out of magic tricks if we look around the battlefield. The second Manticore will be disappearing here relatively soon. It has probably about 30 seconds left, give or take. And a nice push right here. If he could actually get the cannon pushed away from the main army, he could then chase it off the battlefield with the Reiksguard and not have to really worry about a retort coming in from the Dwarven forces. So that cannon is pushed off. Over here in the meantime, the Deathjacks are about to meet their doom. So yeah, these guys, I don't know if they're ready for this. A bunch of angry mohawked men chasing them down, or dwarves, or whatever the hell you want to call them. But yeah, those Deathjacks are in huge trouble, but they're a cheap unit. They only cost 600, so it's not really a big loss. And the Slayers being out here does kind of open up Toddy play here in the center pocket. Like, Toddy doesn't really have Slayers to chase him. And the Empire's doing pretty good in the infantry fight, actually. The Swordsmen, the Sigmar Sons especially, pushing through the miners, now getting into some of the Dwarf Warriors in the back. And Boris doing a very good job as well. The Reiksguard are still in great shape for this point in the game. They have 31 models left, and they're most certainly going to be... Oh, this is huge! The fact that, like, so many high-value Dwarven assets are back here, Thunders plus the other group of Thunders, and also this cannon piece, that is a really, really juicy pick here. So the Empire coming back here, Toddy getting on those gun lines, the Reiksguard getting onto the other Thunders, as well as the cannon, just huge value right there. So as far as the infantry fight goes, we have Greatswords still fighting here. They're up to 45 kills, certainly haven't done bad. Some Spearmen are going to be chasing down these guys, and it looks like the Dragonback Slayers were able to finish off the Deathjack. So very, very even battle at this point. Very well played to both players. It's certainly been a great showcase so far. Longbeards on the far side are able to catch some of these Free Company Militia, and that is very much going to be an issue in the late game. These Longbeards, they're going to be very, very tough to grind down. They're a very stalwart infantry unit, especially if you don't have much AP left. So we have 57 Greatswords right here who are going to be getting us around here on the Rune Lord. This is actually quite big. Now, if Toddy were to come over here, for example, so I think Toddy's in the back chasing down the powder units, which is probably the best choice. Get rid of the Dwarf and Powder, and then you get rid of the answers to Toddy, because aside from the Slayers, like the Powder are the other answer to him, right? But look at this, a massive exodus of Dwarves. You can see in the back, a cannon's going. We have another cannon right here. We have Thunders just getting chased off the battlefield. This is a huge value train for the Empire. In the meantime, you can see some of the flamethrowers, these Iron Drakes shooting in. Man, getting some really, really juicy value there as well against the Cav. But the Cav are going to come in and shut them down, and that's all it really takes, right? It's just one, you don't charge like this just to put these guys down. So here we go. You can see that these Iron Drakes are down to 10 models, 14 leadership, probably going to be breaking here in a moment. Granted, Empire Knights, no, these are Zentless Reichsguard. These are no mere Empire Knights. These are the Reichsguard. So they could potentially break these guys. We'll find out in a second. But now, the questing Dwarves, the Dragonback Slayers, have returned from their errantry war against the Death Jacks. They're going to be coming back in and certainly should be able to, punish all these Cav units. And yeah, the Longbeards are going to be a big issue, but here you can see the Rune Lord's almost down. I wonder what's going to be fighting him. Looks like Free Company Militia, Spearmen are chasing as well, and there's also a fairly healthy group of Greatswords. Now, if these Greatswords, if these Greatswords here in the late game of this battle can actually get onto the Dragonback Slayers, that would just be a huge value train. Like, they would be able to do really well against those guys. So Toddy, in the meantime, chasing off a cannon, chasing off Thunders. Man, this could potentially be a really, really solid upset. And you can see here that the Iron Drakes with the flamethrowers are shooting in, getting some good value against some of these Spearmen here, as are some of the Rangers in the back. Rangers should be shut down in a moment by the Reichsguard, I would imagine. And the Slayers, where are they going? Let's find out and kind of watch these guys. Despite the balance of power being in the favor of the Empire, it's going to be really tough to take out these Slayers as well. Some of the Longbeards, granted, yeah, they're still Greatswords fighting, and they're shoulder to shoulder with the brave state troops of the Empire. And it looks like these Dwarf Warriors should probably be losing this battle, but let's go ahead and take a look at what the Dwarves do have left. So we have Longbeards right here. As far as the model count, we have 29. We have 44 Longbeards here, and the Rune Lord is pretty beat up. I mean, Toddy, if he can get rid of the gun lines, should be able to solo that Rune Lord pretty easily. The biggest thing for them is going to be dealing with the Dragonback Slayers. Those guys are going to be quite tricky. And I do certainly think that the Dwarves overchased a little bit with those Slayers. They were very needed in that back line. So yeah, just very good methodical play coming in from A-Move. He's going to be chasing down the Iron Drakes now. Those guys are going to be getting pushed off the battlefield. And yeah, I mean, they're pretty much a non-factor now anyways. I think there's only 5 models left, so not really that big of a deal. And yeah, the Greatswords are going after the Slayers, which is a really good play here. And Xiphos knows that he doesn't want this fight because Greatswords are armored, Slayers have low AP, and they have a bonus versus infantry. It would not be a good fight for the Slayers. So the Slayers are going to be pulling back, and a little bit of crossfire coming in from the Dwarves. These Thunders are able to stabilize and get some good focus fire. So it looks like despite the relatively tough situation, Xiphos is doing a very good job reforming his ranks. So his gun line's back online here. You can see these Dragonback Slayers are falling back. These Longbeards are back, and the Rune Lord is relatively protected if the Slayers can get back and stand on top of him. On the far side of the battlefield, we have some light skirmishing here. Dwarf Warriors over there battling. We have, 69 Swordsmen. That's what she said. That's going to be pretty good. And yeah, A-Move going in for the Death Thrust here. So he's going to be pushing in with Boris, but he has to be careful not to get caught by the Slayers and kind of pinned down here. But he could potentially get a terror route here. Ooh, nice Master Rune of Wrath and Rune coming in from Xiphos. This could be a game changer here. So really slow Toddy. He's at 26 speed. The Dwarves can certainly get us around right now. So they're probably going to be trying to push in and get us around on Toddy, but it looks like he's going to be able to get away. They're getting some karate chops in his back. He has 9 speed right now, which is pretty ludicrous, but ooh, Foe Seeker puts him up to 15, and the Free Company Militia might be able to come in and screen, and Toddy's taking a lot of damage. I mean, if Toddy were to break, that would be probably game over. Oh man, that's not good. That's really, really bad for the Empire. That charge could have cost him the game, because I think A-Move was in a very good position to potentially just sweep the game there. Oh man, but now that Toddy's trapped like this, really good play there by Xiphos. The old bait and switch. Because the problem is it's very close to the edge of the battlefield, so if Toddy breaks here, he's going to run right off most likely. And the Dwarven gun line is shooting at him quite proud, quite firm. And now, guys, look at this. The tide has turned. Oh no, the throw. Toddy was so healthy. He was full health. And if Toddy goes off the battlefield, that's just going to be game blouses, I think. But had he just like cycle charged the loose Dwarf elements, cycle charged the Thunders, ran away, maybe. But man, what a good catch by Xiphos. Just veteran tournament play. That is insane. Because the Empire had that game in the bag, I think. Man, that is crazy. Good catch there. Those Dragonback Slayers able to do a great work. Just great work there. So Zentless Reichsguard going to be charging back in. Oh, and Toddy comes back. He's here. He does not run off the battlefield, so he's going to be able to heal up to like 2,000 HP. So suddenly, a glimmer of hope for the Empire. As Toddy is stable with 2 leadership. Well, I wouldn't call it stable, but is he going to stabilize? Oh, that gunfire might break him down here. Here he goes. He's going to be charging in. he needs to just attack and run into the spearmen there. He needs to get away because those slayers are quite pissed off. Now, there are greatswords fighting here, which is really good for the Empire. There's also going to be an Amber Wizard. Amber Wizards aren't slouches. They have 50 melee attack and 300 weapon strength. So, yeah, I mean, if A-Move is careful with Toddy, like really careful, there's still a chance here for the Empire. Now, what does the Empire have on the periphery? Okay, these swordsmen need to get back. Oh, Sigmar's Sons here are going to be really big, especially against the Slayers. So he charges in there to support the greatswords, which is good. Pulling the Slayers into the greatswords is a very solid play. Reiksguard coming back in. And the Empire's doing really good in multiple areas of the battlefield. It's really just going to be the Slayers, but Sigmar's Sons are going to be very good against Slayers. I mean, it'll be a bloody affair, but at least it'll be doing some pretty good damage. Greatsword's up to a rock hard 100 kills against these Dwarf Warriors, and it's going to be climbing. I mean, those bonus versus infantry and those AP values are really good. As a matter of fact, he might want to go back here and just push off these Longbeards. That's pretty free real estate. Spearmen are coming back in. Man, this is a great match. Really, really great match here in this first showdown in the Eternal Challenger League. So Sigmar's Son's coming back in. And yeah, that's going to be a really nice piece because Sigmar's Son's unbreakable. Toddy can stand on top of them and fight. The Slayers won't be able to get the good jump. And now you can see these Dwarf Warriors are broken. We have the Death Jacks coming back in from all the way across the map. Those guys came back in. Man, that is nuts. So the Death Jack's going to be shooting in, going after the Dragonback Slayers here. Great, great choice. And guys, it looks like, I mean, just looking at the battlefield, I think if A-Move plays his cards right, I think he still has this game. As far as, oh wait, what is this? Oh no, Xiphos. That's why the Bounce of Power is like this. So guys, Xiphos has forgotten some Longbeards on the edge of the map. 75, like almost full health. If those guys were back there, it would be doomed for the Empire. That explains it. That explains why the Bounce of Power is like that. Because like Longbeards are pretty powerful and expensive. But now if, this is A-Move's chance. If he can, strike and take these guys out before the Longbeards make it back from their great exodus. Oh no, be careful. That's so dangerous. Yeah, a good feint. So he charges in and he pulls out. That's what she said. Needs to be very careful there. Dragonback Slayers, Xiphos might actually just not take the engagement here. But he can't really escape is the problem. Yeah, here comes another charge coming in from the bird. He's basically just baiting Xiphos down with the Dragonback Slayers. And the Slayers could escape and get to the Longbeards and sacrifice the Lord. It is an idea because the Slayers could like run up and around. They are faster than these Empire infantry. Yeah, now he's going to be going in and oh, that freaking Rune Lord takes a beating from Toddy. Toddy with this steel chair. Oh man, brutal stuff. Sigmar's Sons have gotten in. Greatswords are coming in. Very, very good control right there. And you can see the Rune Lord is broken and terrified. I feel like Rune Lord should be immune to psychology, but anyways. Toddy's going to be chasing this guy down. I mean, from a bounce perspective, maybe not, but from a lore perspective, I feel like Rune Lords would be like pretty resolute folk. Yeah, Slayers basically right now know that the Longbeards are in the sunset, so he needs to get to those guys. But here you can see that the Rune Lord is going to be getting broken, probably pushed off the battlefield, and every time the Slayers come in, they're also taking attacks from Sigmar's Sons plus the Greatswords. So here come these Sigmar's Sons. Yeah, that very, very good stuff right there. Slayers are going to be taking a lot of casualties. Granted, they'll do pretty well for themselves, but yeah, you can see they're down to 29 models. And the bounce power just ebbs even more and more into the favor of the Empire. And Toddbringer could easily probably solo those Longbeards. I mean, if the Longbeards had been here with the Slayers plus the Rune Lord, that would have been a pretty nasty Death Star to break. But yeah, man, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff indeed. So Sigmar's Sons continuing to grind through here. And it looks like the Empire is going to pull off a pretty substantial upset. I mean, that's a very hard matchup for the Empire, but he was able to make it work with the gold chevron swordsmen and Toddy and some really good cab play for sure. A big factor, I think, was when the Slayers overchased a little bit and kind of ran off into the Shadow Realm, chasing down the Death Jacks, because then the back line of the Dwarves kind of got compromised, but there's no way these Slayers are getting away now. 16 of these bad boys, and you can see pretty much the last bastion of hope for the Dwarves is going to be the Longbeards here in the distance, and it looks like there's only, what, yeah. I mean, not only, but a pretty far distance away. That is substantial. So the Slayers are down to the last 12 models here, but the Empire's going to be chasing. They are faster, but for the most part, Toddy should be able to chase them. And the Amber Wizard, in the meantime, this guy's been a beast as well. He's going to be chasing down these Dwarf Warriors here in the distance. And that is going to be the first game, I would imagine. I don't think Xiphos can come back from this. Toddy could probably solo those Dwarves over there, or at least come very close to it. And with the support of this blob of Sigmar's Sons and other infantry, there's pretty much no way Xiphos can win. And now you can see the army losses are kicking in as the Slayers are going to be the last of the Mohicans here. They're going to be getting chopped down. So well played to A-Move Hacker with a very big upset here in the first game. That was a really nice turnaround. Man, if Boris had routed off the battlefield, it would have been over. Dwarves would have won. That was like a really tense moment. But again, I mean, he was in a pretty commanding position up until that happened. Like, he had Boris full health. He had all these Sigmar's Sons and other troops like that. And that's going to be game one, guys. So Xiphos on the ropes early on against A-Move here. It is a best of three. It is a best of three showdown, my friends. Thank you for the donation from Goosey Young. Love your vids, Turin. Luckily, no aquatics on this map. I know, it would have been a doom for all of those in the realm had there been aquatics on this map. And that's only the first game of today's matches here, guys. So let's go ahead and update that for the A move. And the next map is going to be... Oh, did I? Yes, Misha, thank you. I forgot to change the title to 6. I will do that in the post. Ogham Shard. The Ogham Shard. All right, so let's find this map. So last night I started painting a Demogryph Knight model. So I'm basically building an Empire army in tabletop, which I can use for either Fantasy or Sigmar. But I was having so much fun painting that Demogryph. They're so cool looking. Because a lot of the old Empire models are really haggard looking, but the Demogryph Knights are some of the newer ones, and man, they look really badass. Like, he has like the skull helmet on. Oh, it's so cool. All right, the Ogham Shard is right here. All right. No HP, my lord chasing, and he came back, yeah. Yeah. Interesting stuff. So, Xiphos, picks, and bans. So Xiphos is going to his meanest race here, the Wood Elves. No mercy now. It's on. Yeah, the cannons on that map had some issues, for sure. So we're playing with King's Cup rules in this one. The models aren't painted yet, fully. So I'm painting a Demogryph Knight. He'll be done probably... I'm going to work on it today a little bit, and then I'll probably finish it when I get back. But I'll show you the Demogryph Knight. I'm basically painting my entire Empire army, including... I don't know, maybe Franz will be painted like normal Franz, because I feel like that's how it should be. But I'm painting my entire... army as the Knights of Moor. So they're going to have black armor with like gold trim, and like I'm going to get banners with like the Moor kind of stuff on it, like the Raven and like, you know, graveyard kind of a... stuff. It's going to be really cool. Yeah. I'm doing a Knights of Moor army. Yeah. It's going really well. Yeah, I'm going to do... My whole army is Knights of Moor. So all the infantry are going to be like... they're going to have black armor with like red and purple clothing, and then like, you know, just a gold trim. It's going to be really badass, because Knights of Moor are like so badass looking. Yeah. I don't know how I want to paint Franz though. Like, because I want to paint him like traditional Franz, but... I also think like having a Knights of Moor Franz would be really cool, like midnight black armor with like, you know, Galmaraz, and that could be really badass for sure. So Xiphos is going Wood Elves, and bans Dwarfs and Skaven. All right, cool stuff. Yuri, thank you so much for the 10, man. Much appreciated. Love from Brazil, ECL hype, dude. Thank you, man. Yeah. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you for your support. It's kind of a cool thing, though, too, because, like, basically, if I paint, like, in a Moor-colored, like, Knights of Moor-colored scheme for my army, if I play Fantasy, it's like, okay, Knights of Moor, it's fine. But if I also play Age of Sigmar, I can then spin it in and be like, you know, yeah, these are the revenants of the old world who've come back. Yeah. Yeah, the demis are... I almost finished one. Yes. Ever chosen this weekend. It's happening. It's a little bit cold. I'm going to get a shirt on here, guys. Oh, man. Chilly. One of my speakers actually broke today, unfortunately. I've had these things for like 6 years, so they were due there. I can still hear everything if I wear headphones, but the speakers themselves don't work. It's a damn shame, my friends. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be High Elves versus Wood Elves. So I have a feeling there's going to be a ton of Lothern Seaguard. Pretty good with the Silver Shields against Way Watchers and Anti-Large against Wild Riders. They're pretty well-rounded, I think. Franz actually had black armor and lore. Oh, that's cool. Oh, Lore Master. Okay, so it actually makes sense then. So I actually, with my Empire army and tabletop, what I did with the Demogryph Knights is I started with a black base, and then I do like a thin black coat over it. And then that finishes your armor. So then you just have to do the trim. You have to do like the Demogryph skin and the Knights like trim, but it's like really quick. Yeah. I'm going to do Hammerhall, yeah. Hammerhall or the Tempest. Because I love the Demogryph Knight models and Karl Franz, and those are like the best cities for them. Yeah, so we got... I know, it's time. It's time. We got, oh, Greenskins, actually. Okay. He says he's thinking. Surf and turf. Yeah. Alrighty. Alrighty, just checking settings. Everything looks good. Lizardmen, alright. And you know, he is in a position that is quite comfortable, right? He can take some risks to try and get, like, bring a really unorthodox build or like a bum rush. Try and catch him off guard. Granted, I don't think I've seen Zyphos lose with his Wood Elves in quite some time, so this is going to be really interesting. Ogham Shard does have some aquatics. There is aquatics on this map, guys. It's happening. Yes. It depends, Lore Master. Yeah, I haven't really explored too much there. Yeah. You know, a lot of people rag on AOS, or Age of Sigmar, you know, and but to be completely frank, I'm not a fan of the Age of Sigmar lore. Like, let's just be real with that. It's it just doesn't tickle my pickle. However, the gameplay is quite fun. Like, it's a really fun game to play. So if you're one of those folks who's super opposed and, you know, things like that, you can, with the new book they just put out, you can play your Warhammer Fantasy army for the most part. Not in its entirety, but like for my Empire army that I'm just going to write Karl Franz on it. There's rules for a free guild general, which you can play as Franz basically. I have a Volkmar the Grim on foot. He's going to be my general. Like, you know, you can still like enjoy the models. Obviously, it's not as good. I mean, you know, I would love if it was still Warhammer Fantasy. That would be far superior. But it's a very fun game to play. It's easy to learn. Yeah, I don't know. I've been enjoying it so far. But again, the lore thing bums me out. Every time I play or like read the new lore, I get a little bit sad. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Sounds good, Richard Anderson. Much appreciated, man. Thank you for the advice. So, Zavlaski, the Wood Elves... So, the thing about the free cities... Yeah, High Elves kind of got wrecked, yeah. Chris, you're correct with that. They're one of the unfortunate ones, but the rumor is for the High Elves is that there's going to be a new release just for them coming up, so that's probably why it's like that. It's game over. Aquatics, guys. Not much you can do. So what you do, if you're going to be playing Wanderers, for example, or you want to play Wood Elves, is you use your Glade Guard models, but they just count as Sisters of Watch or Men of the Watch or whatever you want to call them, and you just use the rules from the Free Cities book. And it doesn't matter. Like, you can build your army to look like a Wood Elf army and play it as one. Like, for the most part. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm playing with my Empire models, but I will be playing Warhammer Fantasy as well. All right. Yeah, just proxy them as Sisters of Watch. Sisters of Watch are extremely good, or Shadow Warriors. They're still Shadow Warrior rules, and Shadow Warriors are actually quite good. They can, like, Vanguard. They can Deep Strike, basically. They can pop up turn 1, and if they pop up in cover, they get, like, a huge bonus to their shots. Really solid stuff. So if you're playing against someone who's, like, super alpha strikey, you could just, like, keep them off the table, pop in, kill their big threats, bam. I'm making some Sylvaneth stuff using old Beastman bodies and Wild Hunter heads. Oh, shit. Battle difficulty, I do not believe makes a difference in multiplayer now. Yeah, I'm going to be playing both Warhammer Fantasy 8th and 9th, as well as Age of Sigmar. So I'll be doing all of it. I just like playing tabletop games, you know, and 40K. I played a 40K game the other day, and this is, if you guys want to know what inspired me to play Age of Sigmar and Warhammer Fantasy in general, is I played a 40K game the other day in my competitive league, and I played against an Iron Hands list. And my list was really, it's a pretty good list. I won a tournament with this list before. It's performed really well. It was actually undefeated this season. And I played the new Iron Hands, and I literally got like 70% of my army like shot off the board on turn 1. And I was just like, you know, I just want to play with some swords and shields and just not like, because in Sigmar it can still happen, like or in Fantasy, I know it can, but it's not like quite as bad as 40K. Like all these big obnoxious like mega fuck knights and, you know, repulsor tanks, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus, man, just like. Plus, Death Guard are in a really bad state right now, so I was kind of like, let's just wait till they change things. All right, guys, back to business. Yeah, you can get most of the old models on eBay pretty cheap. Like, it's really not hard. Oh, Jan, just give it a try, dude. Painting, like, I'm not, like, the best painter, but, like, you know, if you follow methods that you can find on YouTube and things like that, you can get better a lot quicker. Yeah, there's going to be, Zablaski, there's going to be 40k battles as well as fantasy battles. Yeah, eventually. The thing is, where I live now, it's a little bit tricky, but Anna and I will be moving probably in the next 6 months, give or take. So from there, once we get a new place and I can set up a room with good lighting, I'll start doing that. I wish I lived next to Sotek so we could record together. That would be really fun. Anyways, so guys, back to the ECL. Enough rambling for now. We're here in Game 2. Currently, Xiphos on the ropes. Not something you hear terribly often. And A-Move Hacker currently up 1-0 here in the series. It is a best of 3, so let's take a look at the army of A-Move. So in the front line, it's going to be Saurus. A lot of Chameleons, which are great. They have good missile resist, very good counter-skirmishing unit. And in the back, yeah, this is pretty classic stuff. Double Solar Engine. Solar Engines, really good range. They're pretty good against lightly armored Wood Elves, and yeah, they're just a solid pick. I really like the Solar Engines, because 250 range, 240 range can outrange Way Watchers. If you screen correctly, you should be able to keep the Way Watchers back. On top of that, Skink Priest with Heavens with Wind Blast. We do also have a Red Crested Skink Chief on foot. And Sacred Croxagores, interesting pick. Now, they hit really hard for sure, and they can beat down Wild Riders, so this is really cool. I love this build here from A-Move. Very, very neat stuff. Now for the forces here of Xiphos. He's got a Glade Lord with Dragon, Triple Way Watcher, Eternal Guard, Wild Riders, and he does also have a Spellsinger with Life. Yeah. It's doing it to it. Hey, my lovely wife is here. She says I chain her to the table. Oh god. No, it's actually one of our fun routines. It's one of my favorite things. It's just like late at night, you know, when as the night kind of creeps to an end, Lady Turn and I sit and we paint 40k miniatures together. It's a pretty amazing experience. And she's a really good painter too. She's super talented. I just don't feel like using the camera, you know, like brushing my hair and stuff. Yeah. And plus, like with the green screen, it's always like a little bit choppy and I feel like it makes the screen look haggard, but anyways. So here you can see the Chameleons are a nice, this is a great Way Watcher screen. I love this formation here from A-Move. Like getting out here with these guys, he's going to see the Way Watchers. Granted, it does potentially open him up to a Wild Rider charge. You have to kind of respect that. But pretty good Chameleon screening so far. And he just needs to make sure that the Way Watchers cannot get on top of the Bastillodons. That's the big thing. So first shot coming in here with the Arrow of Kurnus. Not doing a lot of damage at all. I think it just completely whiffed in pretty much every front. And let's see, let's make sure they have no questions. They're just saying good luck, have fun. So here come the Way Watchers. Skinks are screening pretty well, and you can see that the little guys up here in the sky are going to be shooting down the Glade Lord, and the first volley of Way Watchers is going to be shooting in, and it's actually going after the Chameleons, which is interesting, because they have 40% missile resist, so they're going to be super durable, but nonetheless, I think he's just trying to open up a pathway to get back to the Bastillodons and some of the other troops here. But nonetheless, yeah, Xiphos looks like he's just going for it, because, I mean, he has to get through those screens eventually. And the Solar Engines are going to be scooting out here, so it looks like he's going to be dropping a nice shot right there. Is it going to make contact? Ooh, nice one. Taking out 5 Way Watchers. That is Value City for sure. Value City. Value City indeed. So up in the sky, the Glade Lord here going to be taking some pot shots. Getting pretty beat up, actually, but, you know, Skinks have pretty good ammo, so they're not going to be in any rush to, you know, save their ammo or things like that. Wild Riders are going to be pushing forward. I think Xiphos might move up with his Eternal Guard, or maybe he's just going to play that skirmishing game. He really needs to get in there with the Wild Riders and do some good work. Like, they need to start riding things down, doing good damage against the Skinks, because the Skinks, if they're not dealt with, then he's not going to be able to really shoot against these Solar Engines. Nice volley right there from Xiphos. He does get that juicy volley. A-Move needs to fall back ASAP. He needs to get this Bastillodon back. I mean, these are his lifeline of this game. If he loses these, the Dragon plus the Wild Riders are just going to be buttering the bread of all his infantry. A little bit of scooting and shooting, but Xiphos' troops are forced back now. The Way Watcher's taking some substantial damage on the approach. And looks like the Dragon also getting beat up as well. So very good start here from A-Move so far. And the Saurus are going to be pushing up as well, but Xiphos unleashing one last volley here, trying to get rid of that Bastillodon, but he does dodge most of it. And now the Saurus are upon them. So these guys are, what is their base speed? They're all poison right now, so I can't really tell. Yeah, 40 speed on these guys, so they should be able to outrun most of these, maybe not the Skinks. And now what's nice for Xiphos, though, is that some of the Saurus and other troops are overextended, so he can pull in with his Wild Riders and really start hammering these isolated troops, right? That's basically what he wanted to do, was, you know, force them to overextend. So Wild Riders charging in, getting a pretty nice slam into the Skinks there, doing some okay damage. Way Watcher shooting in, and it looks like they're going after Saurus right now, or maybe Skinks. It's a little bit hard to tell, and oh, this is very dangerous. You can see here the Red Crested Skink is in open field, and Pravenoth Rayma could lock him down, and they could just like one-shot the Skink Chief if they could get him in open field like this. But it looks like he's going to be able to get to his infantry. and the dragon was a little bit out of position for that play anyways. So Bounce Power is very, very even. Lizards are moving forward, and remember guys, the Lizards actually have aquatics in the water here, so the Skink's going to be getting some massive buffs, and the Weight Watchers are being forced back. Yeah, it looks like, Gary's fine. The Bastiladon's still going strong. He's got 1400 HP. He's steady. He's a little bit tired. He's huffing and puffing. Probably should have done some more cardio, but for the most part, Gary is in good enough shape. So Weight Watchers here are going to be falling back and shooting again at the Sacred Croc Scores. Nice shot right there. Able to get some polishing damage on those guys. Not a whole lot, but the Weight Watchers have plenty of room to fall back. So here they're going to be scooting back. Need to start focusing down some high value targets. And the dragon in the meantime is, what is it going after? So he's going after Skinks. It looks like he's going after some mobile units here, but the dragon is getting beat up. And I think he needs to start getting some more value plays because I think the Lizards are slowly just starting to grind them down. And again, all it takes is one slip up. Like this, for example, is a huge mistake here from A-Move. If Prey of Anoth Rama goes off here on the Red Crested Skink, he focuses with the Weight Watchers. Suddenly, the Lizardmen don't have a Lord. So where is that Prey? There it is. Okay, I knew Zyphos would use it eventually. So here comes the Prey of Anoth Rama. Skink Chief going to be getting Shrek pretty hard. Yeah, that's all it takes is one mistake. And then the Wood Elves can just get your goodies with the Weight Watchers and really good Prey play. So here comes the Skink. 800 HP, -7, and that volley should probably finish him. And down goes the Lord for the Lizardmen. Yeah, that's brutal stuff. And I wonder why he took the Skink instead of like a shielded Saurus. Like a Saurus Old Blood or something like that. I feel like that might have been better, but anyways. Here in the distance, Sacred Crocsagore is going to be getting charged by the dragon, but Sacred Crocsagores are actually not bad against large targets. They have really good melee attack. They're more of like a generalist unit, so the dragon needs to fall back, because he's going to get pounded pretty good if he stays there. In the meantime, Lizard's still advancing with Saurus, and ammunition is running a little bit sparse here with Zyphos. He needs to be careful. You can see the Sacred Crocsagores here are going to be getting focused down, so that is another value pick for Zyphos for sure. Now, in the back line, it looks like one of the Bastiladons is in pretty good shape. The other one is quite beat up. You can see Gary here is at 1,000 HP. Some of the Wild Riders were able to get back there, but it looks like he was able to stabilize, which is quite nice. So the Bastiladon's still functional for sure. Zyphos going to be jumping in with the Glade Lord, so really good Alpha Strike. He basically just gets these Sacred Crocsagores, focuses them down, and then charges them with the Dragon, with the Wild Riders. Zyphos is just so good at his timing pushes here with the Wood Elves. In the meantime, he still does have 29 Wild Riders here. Sacred Crocsagores are pushing in. What A-Move needs to do is he needs to stabilize his back line. He needs to get the Bastiladons back online somehow. I don't know if he can. Maybe pull some of these Saurus back and peel off these Eternal Guard. That would be huge. Getting that range firepower once again. Some of these guys are going to get caught by Skinks. He might break these Wild Riders. Well, a little bit of a close call there. In the meantime, though, you can see that the Weight Watchers, where are they going? It looks like they're going to be going for the Sacred Crocsagores. But guys, the balance of power is actually in the favor of the Lizards. Despite the fact they've lost their Lord, the Wood Elves have lost their Spellslinger, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get that back. Yeah, it's probably going to get pushed off here, I would imagine, by Skinks as well as those Crocsagores. Weight Watchers are trying to peel there, getting a decent little volley, but I don't know. It looks like the Lizards might be able to grind this one out. It depends on the Dragon play, I suppose. There's still a ton of Chameleon Skinks also, which are very, very good against the Dragon. The Wood Elf Dragons don't have a ton of armor, so a little kind of poking Skink play and things like that is going to be quite efficient. In the meantime, Skink Priest is pushing in, going after the Weight Watchers. Here he comes, here he comes. Oh, and he gets the Karate Chop right there on the Weight Watchers. The ton of Saurus coming in. I'm telling you, those guys are going to be very, very tough to push off. But Zyphos does pull back ahead on the bounce power, actually. It looks like a couple good breaks here in the front line are doing some pretty good work for him. But yeah, he needs to be very conservative with his ammunition now. Another Prey of Anoth Rama used on the Skink Priest of Heavens would be quite good. And then the Weight Watchers could probably finish it off. Zyphos, in the meantime, going to be getting his Wild Riders and just methodically cycle charging against the Saurus Warriors. And it looks like one of the Bastiladons is broken off, so that's big. That's really big. Zyphos was able to get some Eternal Guard back there, who do have 33 speed against the 40 of the Bastiladon. And the other Eternal Guard were able to slip back there and get on that Bastiladon. So that's going to be changing things quite a bit, for sure. So in the meantime, another Prey of Anoth Rama going down to the Skink Priest, just like I predicted a moment ago. And they're going to be getting Karate Chop. So here it comes. 411 HP. And down goes the little buddy. Oh, poor little guy. He's trying his best. He's shattered. It's still a pretty even game, though. And guys, I just actually noticed that the cursor is missing because I was recording some list videos yesterday. So I'll be changing that back after this game, and you guys can see where my mouse is. In the meantime, though, no, actually, oh, it looks like it's there. Oh, you guys can see it. Okay, I did turn it back on. That's good. That's good stuff. So, Saurus Warriors are still pushing in against Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers are very, very low at this point. Most of them don't even have ammo, or I guess much ammo at all. But the Dragon is going to be a big issue, and the fact that Zyphos somehow was able to get the Spellslinger back, it looks like it might have just outran its pursuers, or maybe it was forgotten about. The Dragon is going to be able to get huge heals. And the Sacred Crocsagores, are they immune to Psychology? It does not look like it, but they could get terrified. And yeah, they're going to get terrified, and it looks like Zyphos is going to win this game. I think the Dragon plus the remaining Wild Riders are going to be very punishing for sure. And in the back, yeah, the thing is the Bastiladon is a huge lifeline for the Lizards, but the fact that the Dragon is online, he can come over here and just eat this thing and chase it off the battlefield. I would probably do that if I was Zyphos. Maybe run the Spellsinger back this way, get the dragon over here, go and eat the Bastillodon, and the Way Watchers, yeah, probably just use the last of their ammo and just let them fight. Let them fight, Godzilla style. He still does have Way Watchers, or Wild Riders, excuse me. These guys have, how many models? Looks like 25, not bad. Getting a decent little lancing charge there into the back of the Saurus. Up in the sky, though, A-Move doing a really good job with the Skinks. I mean, they're chasing down and just getting that poking value here, but now, this is good. So Zyphos knows the Skinks are a good answer, so he's going to be trying to just Alpha Strike them, committing a lot of resources here, maybe sacrificing the Wild Riders, but for the most part, the Terror Route could actually Terror out these guys off as well. And yeah, look at that Terror Route, huge stuff. The Saurus Warriors are going to get pushed off, and the Glade Lord is just karate chopping, doing its thing. Did the Mage get away? Yeah, the Mage is back. I don't know how that Mage came back. That's a pretty big mistake. Like, if he just ignored it and let it come back, but I didn't quite catch that. I was focusing on some of the other action, so pretty unfortunate little circumstance. This is actually the first best of 3 of the day, actually. Yeah, very, very good stuff. So the Glade Lord going to be pulling back up into the sky here. Eternal Guard are just chasing down that Bastillodon, doing some really, really good poking damage. I mean, again, anti-large AP on those guys. It's not much, but it does add up for sure. And the Dragon's going to be able to Terror out a lot of these guys, which is going to make it very tough for the Lizardmen to stay in sustained combat. Now, do they have any quality left? Like, good, durable troops. Oh, look at Gary coming back! Running away from the Eternal Guard. He does have 40 speed against their 26 right now because they are poisoned by the little skinks in the back throwing their spears, which is quite nice. I mean, maybe, just maybe, the Lizards still have a chance. It's not over, but it's going to be very, very hard. Those Bastillodons need to kind of get freed up, and I think had he sent back some Saurus to peel for them earlier, he might have been able to win the game. It's hard to say, though. It's hard to say. A lot of what-ifs, a lot of variables here. So the Arrows of Kurnus coming down here. Nice little contact there on that Bastillodon, who's now at -7. And yeah, with that guy breaking, it's going to be pretty good here. Wild Rider's still doing a great job. Zyphos really, really good control with these guys. 154 kills, certainly no joke. Going to be getting a downhill charge into these Skinks here, as the Dragon does come in for the Alpha Strike. The Spellsinger does break, though. Lizards are able to get that at least. And it looks like the Bastillodon was able to rally, so he finally pulls back some Skinks and some peeling here. Now he's going to be blasting in. Nice little shot right there, taking out a couple Wild Riders. Man, this is a close game, actually. Really, really close. Way Watchers still saving their last volleys here. Oh, nice shot right there by Zyphos. He saves that ammo, gets a huge volley right there on the Bastillodon. And the other Bastillodon shooting in as well. He's like, Gary, no. Epic stuff indeed. So that Bastillodon looks like he lost his tracking here, but now he's going to be fighting a dragon, which is not a great situation for a poor little Gary here. Or George, or whatever name he feels like going by. -8, -11 on leadership. This bad boy is going to be breaking. The other Bastillodon does get a nice shot, though. What do the Lizards have left? Saurus, and do they have any Skinks to chase down that Spellsinger? The fact that Spellsinger is back is really, really problematic, actually. But man, this must be a stressful game for both of these guys. Like, it's just so tense. I think Zyphos has to be really conservative here. He has to chase off both Bastillodons. He has to make sure, chase off this one, chase it off. Even if it takes another 5 minutes, he needs to make sure those things are gone. Because if they come back, it's like, it's the lifeline for the Dinos. For sure. So chase that bad boy down. The Eternal Guard, I think, might have shattered the other one, so that's pretty big. Now he doesn't have to worry about chasing that one. He just has to make sure to polish off this one. And he has Eternal Guard coming back in, and yeah, they're pretty good melee defense, obviously. So, I mean, the big blob of just random Wood Elf stuff here is going to be pretty good against this Saurus wall, while the Dragon is fighting with them. So the Skinks are going to be charging in, Earthblood going down, getting a big, fat, juicy heal, and I think once we get a Terror out here, ooh, Breath Attack coming in from the Dragon. Here it comes. Pretty good damage. Ooh, man, that did like 600 damage. Really, really good Breath Attack right there. And that's probably going to be triggering army losses soon. Yeah, he knows he has to kill that Bastillodon. That's like the only thing that could end him. That's the only thing that would be a big issue here. So going after the Bastillodon, as far as HP goes, 1400 on that bad boy here. Looks like a GG is being dropped by A-Move Hacker, and he shall be withdrawing. Well played, man. That was a really good game. That was an amazing game. Yeah, the dragon is one of the predators for sure. All right, guys, we're here in the rubber match. Quite excited for this. Let's do it to it. 1-1 here in the series. Boom. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. That's the right one. Yes. Good. All right, so for the last map, let me go ahead and minimize and find that. It's going to be... Where art thou? It's going to be Pillar of Bone. So this should be a faster game. Pillar of Bone's a pretty close quarters map. The other ones were somewhat big. There we go. All right, A-Move pick and ban. Go, go. Hey, what's up, James Watson? It's the final battle. It is here. The fate of Middle-earth is in the hands of these two fine players. And thank you so much, Eldrin of Mist, for the $2 donation. Did Flamethrowers and Fire Cannon get a rework? I am not sure. Not that I'm aware of. I think they may have had some minor buffs in the most recent DLC and patches, but I don't know if there was like a major rework or anything like that. To answer your question. Thank you so much, Eldrin of Mist, for the donation. Much appreciated, brother. Yeah, I would guess so, Optimus Prime. Or Pine. Yeah, Zablasky had some amazing games. He was really fun to watch. He's an amazing player. In the first game, we had Empire versus Dwarves. And then this one, we had Lizardmen versus freaking Wood Elves. It's a really good series. Weight Watcher speed, I think, is... Well, Zablasky can answer that. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think it's in the high 30s, like 36 or 40. So, he's picking Dwarves and he's banning Skaven. Okay. Cool. Oh. Oh. Man, stretching it out. Lore Master of Sotex says, I'm so glad I'm not playing in my slot today. Yeah, some pretty stiff competition for sure. I'm going to go get some tea while these guys do their thing. Start when ready. Well, Sotek, next week is going to be... You'll probably be playing with King of the Dead, so that'll be fun. All right, my friends, I return, and it looks like they're still wondering about the matchup here. It is. Yeah, he gets double bans, yeah. Thank you guys for joining. It's not going to be Wood Elves. It's going to be Dwarves versus someone else. So you can double ban. Well, it's single. So how we do it is we do double bans in best of 3, so they can, you know, play factions that normally have a lot of hard counters, and then in the finals, in best of 5, we do single ban. That's what we do here. James Watson. Hey, thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say. I like it. You got the squig emoji and everything. Likes for the cringe god. Yeah. God, that's always the cringiest thing when you go to those like really huge YouTube channels and they're like, oh, just smash that like button, dude. I mean, as much as, and there is a reality to it. It actually is really good for business for sure. because like the more your videos are engaged with and things like that, YouTube's algorithm just gets a hard on and basically sends people to your videos. What faction is good versus dwarves? I would say Beastmen, Chaos, High Elves are okay with chariot play. There's a bunch. Pretty much anyone with a chariot is pretty good against dwarves. Hey, the Fallen God, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a great stream today. And we have a donation coming in from Laurie for $20. So let me make sure I can read your message. Hold on a sec. Dark Elves are great, so good against dwarves. They have so much AP. So the question has been answered for you, my friend. All right. So ModX donated $20 and said, been watching since the beginning of the channel. I got accepted to medical school today and Turin streams today. Fine day to donate. Dude, thank you so much, man. And congratulations on your acceptance to medical school, ModX. That is awesome. Congratulations. What kind of medical profession are you going to pursue? Yeah, I have a friend who's a doctor. So basically, you know, he went to school, you know, now he's an orthopedic surgeon. And this guy makes like 600 grand a year. It's crazy. 600,000. Yeah, it's insane. It is. I mean, he has a very successful practice, but he makes a killing. Oh my god. Yeah, congratulations though. That's really cool on your acceptance. It's a big accomplishment, man. Yeah, Dark Elves are really good here. Good luck, have fun. I wonder what Zyphos will bring. I actually have a couple builds with Dark Elves that I think are really nasty against dwarves, like using a couple bolt throwers to snipe their artillery, a bunch of shades, and then just chariots. Oh god. Oh, I thought I was muted. Harganeth Executioners? I don't know. Maybe. Hey, Category, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Yeah, my friend who's a doctor literally is like working just nonstop, like has no spare time. I think they have like 1 or 2 days a week when they have like some breathing room, but yeah, it's crazy. They make so much. He works as an orthopedic surgeon, and on top of that, he freaking he's like on call with like a bunch of hospitals. So like, you know, they'll just call him like at random hours, like, hey, some guy got his like hand cut in half or his fingers chopped off. Can you come reattach them and like things like that? It's pretty crazy. Yeah. He's gonna become a spell singer of life. Yeah. Yeah, surgeons make a lot of money. Yeah. Oh yeah. That one guy, yes, that video of the dwarf insulting the elf. Oh, what is that from? What is that video series called? The Adventures of Something. It's really good. It's a classic. The Skaven are really funny in that series too. Ravendale's Quest, that's what it is. Yes. Yes. I knew it was something along those lines. He is making bank, that is correct. Look, I wouldn't mind working like that for like 5 or 6 years and just saving up a ton of money and then just like toning it down, right? Like having a really calm, like low-key practice after that. Wicked D is playing next, yeah. He's playing next against Mukip in our second best of 3 of the day. Alrighty. On the road again. Maybe so, Darko Man. Maybe so. I'll flagellate you with my beard. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people who become doctors go into huge debt for medical school, at least here in America. And, you know, you have to make it back for sure. So when you hear they make a ton of money, it's like they also have massive debt to pay off too. So it's a stressful thing, right? It's like a big risk. Yeah. Warden Moxie. When I was watching Aerocrastic's live stream last night, off and on. And when I would go back to watch like earlier footage, it was like super choppy. I think it's a problem with YouTube right now. It's not like anyone's stream in particular. Yeah. Yeah, Dawi versus Dark Elves, yeah. It's a grudging. It's a grudging, all right. So we're going to see. It's a 1-1 series here, guys. Zyphos and A-Move Hacker. Very hotly contested series. These games have been great. And the winner of this, of course, will be moving on to the grand finals of today's qualifier. And remember, guys, Zyphos was the grand champion of the last Eternal Challenger League. He had an amazing final series against Lotus Moon. And just solid victories. Solid victories indeed. Whiskey Waffles Turin. So does Empire Miniatures. Shoot me a message, Whiskey Waffles. And Discord if you could. Yeah, Arrow, I was watching your streamer last night, and I was like, I joined a little bit late. So I came back and I was like, oh, I want to watch some of the games he played earlier. Getting all hyped for Everchosen and whatnot. And it was like super choppy. I couldn't watch him back. Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in business. Yeah. But, you know, obviously, my first job out of college, I worked at a newspaper. So I was an editor, not like the main editor of a newspaper, but I was like, you know, I would edit content that was written by other folks. And then on top of that, I would write articles, press articles. So like if somebody was sponsored in our newspaper, I would write like an article announcing their stuff and things like that. So my first job was at a newspaper. And then after that, I got a job. I did some freelance marketing for a while. I tried to start my own marketing company, but I just didn't really like it that much. So from there, I got a job working as an athletic director. So I was like running sports programs and things like that because I had a background in sports as well. So I was able to get that job. So that was pretty fun. And then from there, I became a YouTuber. Yes. My next Magic stream will probably be when I get back. Yeah. All right, Whiskey Waffles. Let me minimize and take a look. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I forgot about those. I was getting sent so many messages. All right. I'll let you know, man. I'll shoot you a message. Thank you, brother. I've never used Mixer. I know there was like a big trend of that. But anyways, guys, let's take a look at the armies. So for the forces of Fish, A-Move Hacker. Wow, look at this. A huge core of Rangers. He's got 5, including 1 Bugman's Rangers. In the back, he does have Althar's Raiders. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. On top of that, he's got Longbeards in the front line, Miners, Longbeards. It looks like just a very durable front line, right? In the back, he does have a couple of guns, Thunders, but a massive missile line, which I'm a little bit concerned about. I don't know how he's going to be able to protect all this. But what I really like about A-Move's positioning is that he's kind of like deployed over here, like away from the center mass of the battlefield. So the Dark Elves will have to pull like a huge swing to kind of engage this force. Whereas this Focus Fire squad can really goon out Witch Elves and things like that. But I think Zyphos, of course, being a solid player, is going to be able to rotate effectively and maybe get on them. But a ton of missiles to protect is my big concern. Like a ton. That is a lot of stuff you have to protect against Dark Elves. So for the Dark Elves, it's going to be Bleak Swords in the front line. It's going to be Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter. That's pretty standard, actually, with some Chariots. A couple Harpies as well to chase down loose Gyrocopters and jump on Rangers. And we do have a Supreme Sorceress of Beasts with the Ember Spear in the Manticore Summon. Looks like there's also a Canadian Assassin here in the middle. So good stuff. Good stuff, guys. It's on. Let it begin. The Dwarven firing line. Can it stabilize here? Its position against the foul Dark Elves. It's certainly going to be punishing some Harpies, but Zyphos will probably react almost instantly, I would imagine. Yeah, the Harpies might get... It depends on how quick. If Zyphos reacts immediately and pulls the Harpies back, then they should be fine, but otherwise they're going to get crumbs. I kind of like this. Like, A-Move's kind of on, you know, neither of them are on the ropes, but, you know, he knows he's playing a really, really good player, especially an elf player, right? So he's going to be taking a bit of a risk here that could really pay off, right? He could start just mowing down these guys. But the Chariots and Doomfire Warlocks are going to be swarming in rather quickly, and he has no Slayers. So I don't know how he's going to be dealing with the Doomfire Warlocks and the Cold One Chariots. How many Chariots do we have in total? Looks like just 1. Yeah, Doomfire Warlocks. So the Harpies getting an opening salvo, but like I said, Zyphos' reaction is so damn quick. Like, he immediately dodges, like, the majority of those shots. So the Rangers are going to be swooping in, and I would imagine the Chariots and Doomfire Warlocks probably going to be swerving up and around to get that engagement here. And the rest of the Dwarven line is moving forward. Really cool positioning, though, for sure. But the Chariots are coming. Like, what is his answer against the Chariots? Maybe marked by Althar with Althar's Raiders, and then, like, just focus it down with everything you have? I don't know. A little bit hard to say. Anyways, Canadian Assassin is going to be running in the front line here. Blasting Charge is probably going to be getting dropped on Bleak Swords and, you know, the front line chaff here, which is a very, very good choice as well. But here comes the initial fighting. Some Rangers scooting forward to take a beating for the Ancestors. And a Rune of Wrath and Rune, this is your chance. Yeah, so A-Move's going to be turning everything. Oh my god, look how slow it is. Marked by Althar. Oh man, this could be a juicy Alpha Strike. Check this out. So he's marked it with Ulthar, he's slowed it. It's going to be taking quite a bit of damage now. Now, those aren't Thunderers, so it's not going to be like an instant just one-shot, just gooning, but he's still doing very good against the Chariots. Now, on the front line, fighting is pretty much going on everywhere. Longbeards against Witch Elves is pretty good. Longbeards against Bleak Swords is good. Sisters of Slaughter will be quite scary. He does have Dragonback Slayers in the back, actually, so they should be able to peel off these Harpies, but that Focus Fire doing really good. Look at that. That Chariot is down for the count. Just down and out, man. Solid stuff here. So look at that Cold One Chariot just getting wrecked. Right, so far so good for the Dwarves. Granted, the Manticore Summon is coming back here. Harpies have now kind of inundated this line, and some of the Doomfire Warlocks have engaged in the front, but there are some minors supporting as well, so I would actually say that was a very, very good opening for the Dwarves. Getting rid of a Chariot piece is just like high value, like especially this early on. Man, good stuff here. In the meantime, in the back, you can see the Harpies are attacking the Bugman's Rangers, which Bugman's Rangers aren't slouches. They can put up a great fight in melee, so they should be able to hold things back. And the Doomfire Warlock's getting shreked off as well by the Rangers. Range far, range fast. Man, that was crazy. But now this is where things get a little bit messy. The Sisters of Slaughter are going to be kind of mucking up the Dwarves here and starting to grind into the bow line. But the Manticore Summons will be disappearing, and A-Move Hacker is quite substantially ahead in the balance of power. In the meantime, some Blackheart Corsairs are coming around the back to try and engage against the Slayers, probably just to muck those guys up. And the Witch Elves are losing. I mean, the Dark Elves looks like they're crumbling in many fronts, but the balance of power is kind of just creaking back towards the middle ever so slightly as the Canade Assassin and the second Manticore has come in here. So we're going to see it kind of jumping on top of these Thunders, I would imagine. But the Rangers are ranging far and ranging fast, really focusing down a lot of these high-value targets. Look at these guys, just absolute aces. Up here in the sky, the Manticore is going to be jumping in against the Rune Lord, a bit of a desperate strike right there. And it looks like there's going to be some sort of an Amber Spear going down, or a Wand of some witchcraft. Was that Marathi? Who did that? No, it was a Spring Sorceress. What item does she have that would do that? Oh no, that was from the Doomfire Warlocks. I was like, for a second I was like, he didn't bring that Lore of Darkness. So Harpy's going to be jumping on the bow line here. Some more Harpies coming back in, which is really good. I mean, Harpies are a great answer against these type of units here. Doomfire Warlocks are fighting to the bitter end, buffed by Wyson's Wild Form, so they suddenly become relatively tanky with 45 armor. But the Dwarves are doing very well in many aspects of the fight. You can see the infantry game's going very well. Longbeards are crumping most of their foes. But, you know, the bow line, a lot of the assets for the Dwarves are tied up in the gun line, the bows. And if they get mucked up like all at once, it's going to just rapidly tilt the balance of power. And now you can see the Dark Elves are starting to get a bit of a second wind as the Dragonback Slayers are trying to peel these Sisters of Slaughter off the back line, which they'll do some pretty good damage against those. Yeah, the Dwarven gun line is really pressured, though. You can see the Thunders here fighting Blackheart Corsairs. In the back, Harpies are chasing off these guys. And the Cold One Chariots actually did come back in with one model. Look at this, just the most haggard of all Chariots. Trying his best. But yeah, that bad boy's pretty beat up for sure. So, Rune Lord's going to be falling back. Manticore's going for him. And it looks like the Dark Elves might be getting back in the game. I mean, obviously, once the gun line or the bow line got compromised, and they were all kind of blobbed up, so it was a bit of a risk, right? You have a lot of focal, you know, just centralized firepower, but if that position does get overrun, you're going to be taking massive, massive penalties here. In the meantime, Sisters of Slaughter chasing off the Rangers and other bow units. Longbeards and company are holding their own with the Dragonback Slayers here. And yeah, the Sisters are getting beaten down, as are the Witch Elves, but yeah, the Dwarves' gun line is pretty much offline, and now I think the tide has turned. I think the tide has turned, guys. The Dwarves, like, they just weren't able to protect their gun line. Like, the Harpies coming back, getting onto those guys, really mucking down the firepower, which they really needed to finish off the Sisters and some of these other troops. The Harpies were just MVPs this game, like MVPs. But the Dwarves were off to a really good start. That was beautiful play by A-Move from the beginning, for sure. And now, yeah, it's looking a little bit grim as the Canade Assassin is going to be able to chase him off. And that's going to be game for the Dark Elves. So Xiphos will be advancing on to the finals. Man, what a game. Yeah, the Dark Elves came back with a vengeance. Satisfy the grudge. They have another grudge to satisfy after this one. So Xiphos, with a 2-1 victory over A-Move in a very, very solid series, is going to be moving on to the grand finals of today's match. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the bracket. Xiphos is going to be moving on, and now it's time for Wicked D and Muckip. Shetland, I know. The reason it's been happening during the Shetland, I guarantee I will get you in this season. And secondly, I've been like trying to like, you know, take some breaks on weekends and things like that. You know, do some streams occasionally, but yeah. I know. I'm making it difficult. That was crazy. Well played. Well played to those two players. All right, so now it's time for Wicked D and Muckip. So if you guys are watching, I don't know if I have them both on my friends list. I know Wicked D is on here. Let me go ahead and tag him in the Discord. Well played to those two fine gentlemen. And Mukip. No, it's Muckip. Mukip. All right. And guys, if you're wondering, Got to pull this up here. Just getting the players all set. I did see those donations come in, so we'll certainly address those here in a second. Take a look, brothers. Cool. So they'll be joining. Let's go back to the lobby where we can adjust the names and everything. We'll see who joins first. Hello, Turin. Do you think that Daddy Carl has any hair under his helmet? I feel like he has some hair. No, Carl, I don't think Carl Franz is bald. No, he for sure has hair. I mean, Lore Master of Sotek, answer this question. It's very important. Ben Watterson. Sotek would know. He's like the wizard. He knows all this stuff. The Dark Lord of Lore. Ben Watterson, thank you for the 20. He says, thanks for all the great content. Long-term subscriber, first time catching a stream. That's crazy. Yeah, I hear that all the time, Ben. Like, people like, yeah, it's the first time I've been subscribed for like 2 years and I've never caught a stream. Yeah, well, glad to have you here, man. Thank you so much for the donation. It's very generous of you. Yeah, more good times to come, brother. And Jerry, with the $2 or €2 donation, I believe. Get a Bugman's on me. I will. And as a matter of fact, I am going to be trying Bugman's Brew this week, which is going to be great for this next week. Thank you, man. And Simon Benjamin, thank you for the 20. I don't see a message, but nonetheless, I really appreciate it, man. Simon, always coming in hot with the steel chair with the 20. We'll do you proud. Yeah, he has hair, says Sotek. I knew it. I knew Carl would have hair. All right, so Wicked here. All right, so let's do this. So I gotta hunt down Mookip here. Might not be in my friends list. Alrighty. So I'll add him on Steam real quick. In the meantime, I'm going to get the scorecards all set up. Because now we know Wicked will be in that first position. You're out of touch. You're out of time. Alright, so let's go ahead and get you going. Oh, that's the wrong graphic. That was a really close series that we just had, man. Mockup shall be here. Score shall be reset. Alrighty, so I'm going to add him real quick on the Steam. And that should fix the problem. Cool. All good, guys. In just a second, we'll be good to go. Yeah, I live in California. Oh my god. That's like one of the catchiest songs ever. Out of Touch by Hall & Oates. Yeah, it's just too catchy. All right, so he should be on my friends list now. And he's in. Cool. We're all good. Wicked D, ban. Pick and ban first. So the maps we have here are going to be, let me go ahead and scroll up here. Game 2, it's going to be Tower of Hoeth first, and then Oakenhammer. Tower of Hoeth, a classic. It's one of the best multiplayer maps. Sure. Fine. All good. Wow, these guys ambitious, entrepreneurial indeed. Look at this. Presetting the matches, making things easy for us. Outstanding stuff. I love it. Oh, they had armies ready and everything. Man, these guys are awesome. So guys, Wicked G, one of our very own mods here in chat, coming in with his own steel chair against a very tough challenger in Muckham. What is going to happen? We shall find out here. Let's do it. All right, game 1 going down. Yeah, we're getting more games, guys. That was just the first best of 3 of the day. That one guy, a surfer dude. I'll post one of my haggard surfing pictures on Twitter if you guys want to see it. I'm not a good surfer. My brother is. My brother's a good surfer. This is going to be great. I'm excited for this. Pick your champion, guys. here we go. This is best of 3. And then the winner of this series will play Xiphos in the Grand Finals today. And the winner of that will be going on to the Eternal Challenger League Grand Finals, which is going to be a big old juicy 8-man tournament. Probably in December, I would imagine. All right. So here we go. It's showtime. Norsca versus High Elves. It's time. Wicked D's going in. He's got a tough challenge, but you know what? You got to believe. So, for the forces of Norsca, who are going to be played by Wicked D. Here in the front line, he's got Marauders. He has Berserkers as well. Berserker is pretty good against Spearmen and decent against White Lines. But again, White Lines also quite good because they do have the armor against a low AP of this Norscan front line. But Norsca usually brings AP in Mammoths and things like that. So, front line's going to be Berserkers and Marauders. A couple Javelins in reserve against like Phoenixes and things like that, which I like. Very susceptible against the Archer play, but again, decent against Dragon Princes, especially if there's like Lord Metal sundering their armor. And on top of that, Crossheart Phoenixes, Flamestar Phoenixes, all that good stuff. On top of that, Wicked is coming in with Wulfric on the Mammoth, and it looks like a Shadowcaster as well, which is a very strong combo. Essentially what you do is you use the Pirate Ship from Wulfric, and then you use Pendulums, and you can really kill High Elf Archer lines very quickly. So if Wicked is really on point with that, he could certainly do a lot of work against that army. So for the forces of Mukip here, or Mukip, how does he like his name said? Does anybody know? Yeah. Anyways, in the front line here, it's going to be a bunch of Illyrian Reaver Archers, which are going to be super effective here against some Marauder Berserkers for sure. Oh, look in the back. There's actually Fimir as well. So he has Miststalkers, Fimir, no great weapons. So yeah, just going for a really grindy, just like headstrong Norscan build. It's going to be taking firepower, a hail of gunfire, but it's hoping that in the approach, it can just run over this front line. So 4 Reaver Cav, Spearmen in the front line, White Lines in reserve, which I love. White Lines quite good actually against the Berserkers and Marauders, and also not bad against Miststalkers and Fimir and units like that because they do have decent melee attack and good general AP values. So I'm quite excited to see that. We got the Storm Riders in the back, which you almost never see, and then we do also have Lothern Seaguard. And for the Lord, it's going to be Teclis. Teclis on foot with nets, and that's it. No way, just nets? That's the only magic he's bringing? Damn, all right. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. It's Mukip. Mukip. Thank you, Shetland. Mukip. 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 Okay, I'll work on it. I'll practice. Anyways, here in the front, battle is underway. The High Elves are going to be shooting in a torrent of fire here against Wulfric. He should probably start juking if he can, because he just took about 500 damage, which adds up for sure. Yeah, he wants to like run side to side and maybe do some juking patterns, but it looks like he's just got a fat hard-on for this High Elf front line. So yeah, now he's starting to juke a little bit. Looks like he might be chasing these guys, but the Berserkers are the choice target. I mean, look at that value coming in from those Reavers. I mean, this is an expensive investment in itself, like all these Reaver Cav, but what's really going to be a pain in the butt here for Wicked is the fact that some of these Cav can peel off and up and around the sides and start attacking Marauder Hunters. Because if you look at their combat stats, 32, 34, 27, really not bad with the charge bonus in the 20s. So the Mammoth in the meantime might actually be catching some of these guys. So very, very Lord of the Rings-esque here, as the Mammoth is able to catch some of the Horsemen there. Actually takes out 4 models, and Wulfric is going to be able to juke, so good juking there from Wicked. He's kind of juking back and forth. You can see those attack orders being given to him, or move orders, I should say. Yeah, he's trying his best to juke. So the frontline engagement will be underway, and the biggest thing for Wicked here, like the key to victory for him, is going to be basically just getting pendulums and really just taking out these archers methodically. And for Mukip, obviously, the key to victory, in my opinion, is just, or Mukip is just to, get nets on the high-value targets like Wulfric, focus them down, and this is going to be a juicy net, but here comes the first pendulum. So net going down on Wulfric, and the pendulum, oh, look at that! Huge damage on the Storm Riders, despite them turning! Man, that was nasty! Look at the damage it did on those guys, but at what cost? So here you can see Wulfric is going to be paying the troll toll for sure, but now the Fimir and other Berserker troops are going to be surging into the front line. So I think Wulfric at this point just needs to either commit or turn and run. I mean, maybe just go back here and commit. It's hard to say. So some of the Javelins are getting decent shots here actually on the Illyrian Reavers, and they're getting kind of caught by some of the Fimir and other troops like that. So Reavers are taking a beating, but Wulfric is getting Shrek'd pretty bad. Like, he is just getting mulched on. But another good pendulum, or no, the pirate ship coming over here. So the pirate ships have just wrecked the archers, and this is exactly what we were talking about. So in the meantime, it looks like Wicked may have forgotten some Berserkers. He needs to get those guys in ASAP. I mean, that's a very, very powerful unit. And it looks like Wulfric is going to be pushed off, but he still has 1600 HP. So if Wulfric comes back, I mean, that was not the worst thing in the world. Like, the High Elf back line is really, really beat up here. Archers are in bad shape, and the Norscan front line should perform pretty well here. And you can see both of these Fimir are going to be piling on and just laying a whooping here on top of these guys. So far, pretty close game. Balance of Power is pretty much dead even. Wulfric has paid the Troll Toll, but the Troll Toll has also been paid by the High Elves in the form of pendulums and other effects like that. Here in the back, you can see the Balefiend is here as well, but it looks like Teclis might be coming in with his Pimp Cane. He needs to keep this guy alive for Pendulum play. Like, a Pendulum right here would just smash this front line. Oh, this is a good cast as well. So here it comes, going to be going right down the line here. Oh, that was so good. Oh, man, just shrekking those guys. Doing a ton of damage, breaking the spears. Value train for sure. So in the meantime, Wulfric might get chased off here. It looks like Machip knows this, and he's going to be chasing down Wulfric. Wulfric, is he going to come back? Probably not with these guys pursuing, and that would actually be really big if he came back, because he still has, 1,000 HP and could make a difference in the fight. In the meantime, Reavers are pushing into the back line, attacking some of the Marauder Hunters with Javelins, which again is also quite a good target for these guys. But, these Berserkers aren't pushovers either, and just the sheer numbers of them, they should be able to maybe put up a fight here. So Balance Fire is still really even. Berserkers are fighting in the front line. In the back line, Famir have kind of gone back here, and a lot of the Reaver Cav are very, very beat up. So they're being pulled into melee combat to try and support, and these Storm Riders are moving and shooting. Riders on the Storm. They're going hard. So it looks like Wulfric is indeed going to be chased off. He's got 376 HP now, so pretty much just getting his salad toss pretty good there. The other group of Berserkers, which was kind of in reserve, has come back in, and they'll do great against Spearmen. Famir are pulling back, trying to get away from Spearmen and maybe just recenter themselves, maybe to push back here, I would imagine. Yeah, those Famir and Marauders doing a really good job, though, just mucking up these lines. I don't know, this is a close game, guys. This is really close. This could go either way, to be honest. What's up, Down? All right, have fun, baby. See you later. Lady Turin says farewell. She's going out to run some errands and whatnot. So here come the Famir warriors. Getting away from this main blob is good. Famir are, pretty powerful, but, fighting with a more potent kind of core of Norskins would be better. Granted, they have 71 Berserkers here, so maybe fighting there wouldn't be a bad idea. Just kind of grinding out this blob, but I think he wants to get on the archers. So the Bounce Power is still dead even. The Balefiend is back. That's pretty big, actually. If the Balefiend can get a Pendulum and, punish the Storm Riders or something like that, that'd be quite good. Mukip, in the meantime, with a really nice net, he is able to net down the Miststalkers, which is going to buy him some time. So really good kind of circuitous play right there. So basically, he leaves the Berserkers to blob, just kind of block up this blob, and then he gets the Famir on top of the archers, which is quite solid. But Machip here with a really nice push. He gets the Balefiend, he chases it off, so that's going to get rid of the Pendulum play. So man, really great play by both players. Granted, Teclis is a little bit kind of caught up here, and he's on foot. So he's not really going to be able to kind of scurry away on his horse like he normally would. And if Wicked wants to kind of capitalize on that, he certainly can. Although Potion of Croy is going to make him very, very tough to take down. So yeah, maybe pulling back is a better idea. And it looks like the High Elves are slowly starting to stabilize the situation. There's still a lot of Famir left, but the issue being is that there's a ton of AP in the form of White Lions. And there's also a lot of Spears and Lothern Seaguard, all of which have anti-large. So there's, good things for both players essentially. But for the most part, I think High Elves are in a slight state of advantage right now. Slight, but certainly still there. So Marauders, in the meantime, going to be the last bastion of Norscan infantry. So basically what Wicked is doing is he's pulling the Famir warriors and the other troops here to try and form kind of a Helm's Deep upon which he can put down his stone and stand, right? Crazy play for sure. Illyrian Reavers here coming back in, Spearmen coming back in, but it looks like the High Elves are going to eke out a victory here. And that was a really close game, actually. I mean, look how beat up this army. It was very, very good stuff. Wulfric maybe being a little bit more conservative with him until your main lines hit could have been better, and mixing in a couple Warhounds. Warhounds are always very, very good here. Granted, against Reaver play, it's a little bit hard to get Warhounds back, so I mean the build was good. Pendulums and the Pirate Ship from Wulfric can do great work, but at the end of the day, and arguably maybe bringing Wulfric on foot or on a horse would be better, and then getting the Soul Crusher, who does have the Enrage, so when your opponent focus fires it, it takes 44% less ward save. It might be better. Just something to think about. Yeah, it's going to be a mass rout, though, for sure. I don't think Norsca can stabilize here. Granted, they are beating back some of these guys, because Miststalkers do cause terror. There are some Berserkers coming back in, but the Lothern Seaguard and the remnants of the Archer Corps should be able to finish those guys. Yeah, and you can see a net's going to be going down on those Berserkers, and that's going to be it. So that's going to be game one to Machip here. Great game. Really well played to both players. It was a close one. It went 7 or 8 minutes long, which is, usually a sign of a good game. And that will be that. Mass rout incoming indeed. What's up, Flying Taco? Hope you're doing well, brother. Yes. And that is going to be it. The Norskins shall fall this day, as the Famir Warriors are going to be the last hope for their people, fighting valiantly against these High Elves, but not going to be able to do it. Yeah, the thing is, the Mammoth was getting netted, though, so it wasn't able to really go back there. Granted, if you bring Soul Crusher, I think that's a better choice, maybe, because of the ward save it can get against Focus Fire. Yeah, hard to say. Yeah, look at that. And down they go. So I think the last unit fighting might be the Brutes of the Hound somewhere. No, it's going to be it. So very well played to Wicked as well as Machip. Amazing game. They both played great, but at the end of the day, Machip was able to get really good focus fire, really good isolations, and he executed his game plan well. And that is that. All right, so that's game one here in this best of 3. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. Machip on the board. Who shall greet Xiphos in the grand finals? We will find out soon. All right. So the next map is going to be, I believe it's Oakenhammer. Let me go ahead and check. It is Oakenhammer. One of my favorite. I like Oakenhammer. It reminds me of the simpler times in life. You know? I don't know why it does. It just kind of does. All right. Picks and double bands. Go, go. Oh, wait. You're a preset. GG. All right, so let's see what they have next. It's always good to see you, Flying Taco. Always a pleasure, brother. Marcus? Well, Zyphos, if he wins, you're going to be playing him. We'll find out. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, why would you bring, you know, Lothran Seaguard or archers against, like, Norsca, right? They have Famir, they have, like, a bunch of, you know, they have big armored beasts you need to deal with, right? But volume of fire can do the trick, for sure. I mean, it can be tricky to pull off, but it can work. Oh, that one guy, yeah, they are. You just need to shoot her an email, and you can find her email address in my community section of my channel. She's put it in a bunch of posts and things like that. Like, she would make a custom one for you. So you tell her exactly what you want. Like, you want Skarsnik, you want freaking, you know, Marathi, you want whatever, Dark Elf Heraldry. She'll do all that. Yes. Large funds is 12,400, Warden Monksy. 12,400, yeah. Yeah, crazy games today. It's been really good. This will be the last stream before I head on over to England tomorrow. Mr. Viking says, hey, been a watcher for a while, and this is one of the only live streams I've caught. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, welcome, man. Grimgore hype? I don't know. Well, Wicked actually might do something like that. Now, I wonder if Mukhip is going to bring mass archers with Empire, or like Huntsmen. Against Greenskins, a little bit risky. Forest Goblin Spider Riders, a lot of pressure pieces. Greenskins versus Empire is going to be fun. Who is it going to be? So for my Empire army and tabletop, I'm going with a Knights of Moor, kind of a Knights of Moor theme. So if you guys have seen the Knights of Moor, they're badass. They have like skull helmets. They have like golden black, or they have black midnight armor, and then they have a freaking golden trim. So my Empire army is going to be Knights of Moor themed. And for the bases on them, we're going to do like a graveyard. So it's going to be like tombstones and things like that, and it's going to be super epic. We're going to have like posts with like ravens standing on them. It's going to be freaking badass when I'm done. So we just started, literally like just started. Yeah. There's a place in Horsham where yeah, and if we have Misha, do you think you could drop a mod for us here? Or a link to, not a mod, a link to Discord. There was a couple people asking for a Discord link to get in touch with Anna. Lore Master of Sotek, the hype. A classic showdown. Foul Greenskins versus the Valiant Empire. Yeah, we're doing a Knights of Moor themed army. So Karl Franz is going to have Midnight Black armor with Galmaraz. Oh, it's going to look so sick. So basically I'm doing like black armor, gold trim, like blood red, like cloth on there, like, so the cloth and like in between is going to be red, and then like some of the feathers on their caps are going to be like purple, like hues of purple. It's going to be badass looking. Hera Mulder, you just have to message me on Discord, and obviously, you know, let me know your tournament experience, because ECL is generally for people who have, you know, played in tournaments and things like that. Yeah. Yes, we're going to be using like old graveyard scenery. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, I actually, Alex Krebs, I do have one coming in the mail. Yeah. Someone was kind enough to send me one, so I'm going to be using his banner on the Demogryph Knight I'm painting. Yeah. I will do a best regiments video. I'm going to do a best regiments, and I'm also going to be doing a best units video. So you guys saw the worst units video. There's going to be a best one, which will be covering the best unit for every faction, in my opinion. And then it's also going to be doing a best regiments of renown, which I pretty much have it. The idea, it'll be like, well, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, Royal Outsurf Griphites will be there. So Knights of More don't have... I mean, basically with Knights of More, you basically just get skulls. You give them like a grim kind of grave aesthetic. Because I believe More is the god of death in Warhammer Fantasy, so... Yeah. So basically we're going to put like graveyard aesthetics and just make them like super grim dark. Like the demogryphs are going to have really pale skin. And the riders will be kind of gaunt as well. For the black, I usually just paint it in one of Game Workshop, like Abaddon Black or something, and then I use Reaper Blue to do like edge highlights, like around the inside of the armor, so the blue really makes the black pop. It looks really good. Yeah. Thank you, Blood Banish. That's really nice of you to say. What about using gold for the edges? Yeah. Alex, we're using gold. I'm going to be using Balthazar gold with edge highlights of Retributor gold. Yeah. It's going to be great. Karl Franz is going to look like a beast. So far my army is 9 Demogryph Knights, Karl Franz, a General of the Empire. I mean, this is what I have. A General of the Empire, or Volkmar the Grim. I have Volkmar the Grim on foot. It's a really cool model, actually. And then I have 40 state troops with swords and shields. I have 30 handgunners. I'm working on trying to decide what else I want in the army, but yeah, I'm not really sure yet. All right, guys, here we are. Let's see what Makip has brought to the battlefield. So he's going to be playing the Sons of Sigmar, Empire Knights here. Empire Knights, a pretty decent choice against Greenskins. Greenskins have weak cav in general, so Empire Knights can honestly hold them back. For the front line here, it's going to be Free Company Militia into the Sunset, Free Company. Oh, and the meme tank is here with Balthazar Gelt and an Amethyst Wizard. So just absolute gooning going on here. Spirit Leech plus Final Transmutation. He's not playing any games today. So Spearman, holding back the tide. The White Wolves in the back. So yeah, Huntsman ROR. Very cool stuff with 4 Empire Knights. A meme tank to go terror route. This is a pretty badass army for sure. Now for the forces of the Greenskins and Wicked D. He's on the ropes. He's down, but he's certainly not out. So here in the front line, he's got Black Orcs. He does have Grimgor Ironhide. Guys, it's happening. I actually feel a little bit bad for Grimgor here because he's just going to get sniped so bad by Final Transmutation and Spirit Leech. We got Orc Biggins in the front line with Black Orcs, Nasty Skulkers, DP Cloonies, a light Skirmishing Corps, which will be pretty good for sure. In the back, we got 4 Spider Riders and 2 groups of Orc Boar Boy Biggins. It's a solid army. I mean, Grimgor is probably the weak link for sure, but yeah, I'm excited. Guys, we have a meme tank. We have Grimgor. In ECL, I don't know what year this is, but it's happening. It's happening. Yes. Meme Gore's here. Meme Gore's here, yes. Yeah, my handgunners are going to be painted. I have to strip the paint because the handgunners I got from eBay for like dirt cheap are like painted horribly. Like horribly. So I have to strip the paint from those guys. Steam Tank Grimgor, he is awoken. I love that. I don't know who to root for. I mean, I feel like you have to root for Grimgor because, all right, guys, let's break it down. The Steam Tank is actually a competitive pick in a couple matchups, including the Greenskins, I think. And Grimgor is just haggard, so I think you have to root for Grimgor here. Like, I think it's heresy not to. So, firstly, an Overcasted Spirit Leech on Grimgor, and it begins. Like, the abuse of the Grimgor's terribleness. It begins now. Wicked has to be very careful as well to make sure that Final Transmutation doesn't slap Grimgor in the face, like with all the Black Orcs. As a matter of fact, I would actually probably hide Grimgor in the trees. Just leave him back here until the main fighting starts, and then once like your opponent's a little bit mucked up, you run him out and do your thing. Yeah, like there's no point in having him charge here. I think he's just going to get murdered. Like the Steam Tank, the guns, Balthazar Gelt, it's going to be nasty for sure. So the White Wolves Huntsman here, it's really cool though that Makip is bringing these like RORs that you rarely see, like the Storm Riders and the White Wolves. And arguably against Greenskin Skirmishers, these guys are pretty good. They can fire while moving, they have stock, and yeah, they just do work. So Grimgor just has like, I mean, okay, to answer your question with what's wrong with Grimgor, just take a look at what's happening right now. He's slow, he provides barely any utility, he's an easy target, like he's probably going to be dead before he reaches the front line. Yeah. Probably going to be dead before he reaches the front line. I don't know. It depends. So Gelt's going to Final transmute him here, and then another Spirit Leech will go down a second after, and he'll probably be near death. And unfortunately, that's going to hit. So look at this. Grimgor's even hurting his own army. He's like, come on, you gits, share in this Final Transmutation. He should probably just pop the wall before he dies. 2,000 HP on Grimgor. Oof, this is painful. This is like the fate of Grimgor, sadly. Grimgor is a distraction Carnifex, guys. So it looks like there's going to be a Brain Buster going in. Really nice cast there by Wicked. He gets some pretty good value on Free Company Militia. And yeah, the Greenskins need to get that frontline fight going, like ASAP. Like just so they can pop the wall, because here comes another Spirit Leech, I would imagine, in a couple seconds. Farewell, sweet Git. You will be missed. Yeah, the Black Orcs need to get in there and fight for sure. Come on, boys, let's go. Rough and tumble. White Wolves shooting in as well. Shooting in against Orc Biggins, who are unarmored. Well, armored, but unshielded, I should say. Here we have the 8-peak Loonies, who are going to be surging in as well. Greenskins pushing up on pretty much every front. Grimgor is doing his best to hide. But now it's going to be so tough to deal with the Steam Tank also. Orc Boy Biggins can do it, but typically I think Rusty Errors are some of the better options. That's why I really like Azag in this matchup. He's very good against Steam Tanks. So frontline fighting's underway. Wash should be going down here in a second while Grimgor is still alive because he's actually shaken. He has 1100 HP. And some of the piggies are going to be surging in the front, trying to squeeze through the Free Company Militia and maybe get into the back, but the Empire Knights are waiting. Yeah, they're going to be able to head those guys off. And Grimgor is like, there goes my hero. He's going to get Spirit Leech pretty hard, 700 HP. Watch him as he goes. Oh, poor Grim. Down goes Grimgor. Oh, God. All right. That just inspired me to make another list video on the worst lords again and just put Grimgor at number 1. God, he's so haggard. He just was so haggard. Oh, God. So Grimgor has fallen once again. The Greenskins now have a good front line fight, and this is a good engagement for them. Skulkers plus Spider Riders and Pigs against Empire Knights. That's a winning engagement for the Greenskins. And, like, if they had a competent lord, aside from Grimgor, that could maybe avoid some of this fire with some speed, you know, they might be in okay shape right now. Like, Black Orcs are getting into the front line. They're winning the flank fight. Wicked D is doing really good in many aspects of this battle. But the issue being is that he just doesn't have a lord. Like, he's basically fighting without 2,000 gold. Nonetheless, Black Orcs are crumping their way through. Going to be pushing in. That meme tank is going to be really, really tough to take down. But nonetheless, Greenskins on the far side here are sort of breaking through. But somehow, the Empire Knights are able to kind of hold their own. It's probably because they had some Spearmen mixed in. But yeah, you can see this is going to be a relatively quick game. The Empire is certainly going to be polishing off these Greenskins. There goes my Grimgor. Watch him as he goes. All right, so the Black Orcs are obviously going to be engaging whatever they can, but at this point, there's like not enough stopping power to deal with the meme tank. The meme tank's there. It looks like a Plague of Rust is going to be going down to polish these guys off. And yeah, that's going to be it. So Grimgor, you know, he tried his little heart out, but Empire is a risky one for Grimgor because of all the sniping they have now with like Marcus and Spirit Leech and Balthazar Gelt. So very, very dicey for sure. So Empire Knights coming back in, going to be routing off these Black Orcs, and it might not be army losses that quick. And the Greenskins are actually able to win this flank engagement, so they're pushing into the center. The Black Orcs are doing pretty well in multiple engagements as well. Biggins are coming back in, so really it's not like if they had a full health lord here, like maybe the Greenskins could win this. But yeah, just the fact that they're leaderless is very, very tough. Can we persuade Turin to do a Grimgor campaign? So I'll probably would hold off on a Grimgor campaign. Like, I feel like the Greenskin campaign's really outdated, just like the Wood Elves. So if they ever get updated, I would do one. But until then, give Grimgor magic resist. He's not a dwarf though. That doesn't make sense. He needs, I don't know. He needs to just have some like really good items or something so that, I don't know. It's hard. Grimgor is just really bad. Yeah, unfortunately. Orc Biggins here surging forward into the back line. Black Orcs doing their piece, but that's pretty much it. There's no way that he can defeat this Empire army, especially with the meme tank being like fully erect here. Yeah. You'd watch me do a Grimgor campaign? Oh God, please no. I'll put it up to a vote next time on the channel, and if Grimgor wins, I will do it. But so that's it. GG to those two fine players. Wicked D, man, you are a true hero of the people. Bringing Grimgor against in a competitive tournament against an extremely competitive player. You got balls of steel, man. And, you know, you didn't do bad, considering you brought Grimgor, really. Yeah. Grimgor got sent to the Shadow Realm for sure. Yeah, give Grimgor a boar. Right. That would be awesome. Just make him an absolute powerhouse and give him, like, bonus first large. All right, so that's 2-0 here for Makip. Let's go ahead and update the bracket. Very well played to Wicked and Makip. Great series. But now we have Zyphos facing off against Makip. Awesome, awesome stuff. Stay here. So Zyphos, you're up. So I'm going to go ahead and update the scoreboard. As we go back here. Zyphos. The champion of the second season here. Coming back in. Wicked, man. Huge props for the Grimgor. How should he buff Grimgor? I'd really have to think about that. But I think giving him like Throg level HP, like 5,500 HP or 5,000 HP would be a start. And then give him like a really good activated item if you want to keep him as a Footlord. Like an item that like is really game changing. So even if he sucks in some matchups, he still could be good in others. All right, so let's go ahead and find the Xiphos. Where art thou, Xiphos? I know you lurk on my list somewhere. So for the first map, we will do Alpine Ridge. Yeah, make Grimgor like Throg, basically, but with his own unique spin. Give him monstrous mass, give him a bonus versus large, give him a really good activated item that like buffs nearby infantry or something, you know? Or maybe like something that terrifies nearby troops. I don't know. Yeah, Grimgor, like, he needs something. Give Grimgor the Amulet of Itzel. Yeah, hell yeah. Grimgor is just, he needs a lot of things, guys. He needs a lot. What if they make his wall unique? Yeah, I agree, Reginald. That's been something I've heard said, and I agree with for quite some time. Are we having an ODM duel? We are. 2 ODM clanmates here going fisticuffs. Let me make sure he's not having any issues joining. I'll tag him in Discord. Cool. We'll stand by. Grimbor. Optimus Pine. I like that. Grimbor is really good. Yeah, Grimbor, like, there's so many things you could do with him for sure. You know, you could give him, like, Grot shields. Oh, that would actually be really interesting. So what if Grimgor had an ability that, like, if he's near Greenskin infantry, he can pass off some of the damage to them, right? Like, so, like, if he's near a bunch of goblins, you could basically just have, like, the damage going at Grimgor, like, go to the goblins, like, part of it, like, 75% of it or something. That would be really interesting. Okay. So it's best of 5. Xiphos, start, pick, and single ban. So, yo, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. Deliverance of Pizza. Let's just give Grimgor a Dreadsaurian mount while we're at it. And then give him the Deliverance of Itza spells. And also give Grimgor flying. A flying Dreadsaurian with just like the wings of the Raven's Herald. That would be hilarious. Grimgor riding a squig could be interesting. Although that's more of a goblin thing. I don't think orcs are really like about that squig life as much. So what do we got here? Xiphos looks like he's wanting to play Skaven here. We're on Alpine Ridge. So not the best for like pure artillery. Yeah, I think living goblin shields would be great. Like he could just sacrifice grots. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. He could ride on a dwarven throne. Grimgor makes nearby Gits unbreakable. That's not a bad idea. He's just so bad. I bet you Grimgor will get reworked. If the Greenskins ever get one, I bet you he'll get reworked then. Like just a full makeover. He's just so bad. Yeah, Wicked was a true hero. Trying to make Grimgor work, man. It's hard. It's hard. He did well aside from that. I really liked his flank over there too, but just without a lord, it's too hard. I feel like Grimgor wouldn't want to. He's too like heavy and plated to ride a wyvern, I feel. So, what do you got? Let's see. Just checking the settings on the stream and everything. Everything looks good to me. Grimgor with Death Touch, flying persist. We should do a concept art of Grimgor on a Dreadsaurian mount. That would be so ridiculous. Yeah, Lookout Sir is a tabletop thing. So like if somebody's trying to snipe your lord in tabletop, they get like -1 to hit. And also with the Empire or Free Cities in tabletop, you can have on a 4-up, they just intercept the wound, which is pretty cool. Grimgor should be like, yeah, if Grimgor was Throg-sized and had like a bonus versus large and a really good ability with like 5,000 plus HP, he'd be a pretty good character in some matchups. Like really good against like Norsca and like things like that. Make Grimgor great again? Oh, Jesus. Grimgor gets one use of a Doom Diver that fires him into the enemy. Dude, that would be a really cool thing. Imagine if Greenskins could do that. They could, like, launch. And a Ragnarok mount would be interesting. But again, spiders are more of a goblin thing. All right, so it looks like Xiphos is going to pick, I'll take Vampires and ban Dwarves. But people ask for Coast. All right, so he picks, so he's banning Dwarves, yeah. SSIO, thank you for the donation. I'd flat out immediately pay $100 to see you play a tic-tac-toe campaign with a totally haggard Flyers only army. Oh, please don't do that to me, dude. You know, SSIO, it'll certainly, just for you, man. Thank you for the $11. Or euros, I can't quite see that. It's like on my laptop, it's really far away. But thank you so much for the 11. And secondly, when I put the next campaign up to a vote, I will include tic-tac-toe just for you. Yeah. A chariot pulled by trolls. Okay, I like this, guys. You see? We should be game developers, all of us. So we got High Elves coming in. High Elves pretty good against Coast. The archers are really cost effective, but obviously Xiphos, in order to win, is going to have really good Hound micro. Bat micro, Disruption micro in the back line. And I also am a huge fan of Queen Bessie here. If they don't bring Reaper Bolt... Actually, Bess is a super good pick here because you have the Alpine Ridge Hill to mitigate the line of sight firing from the bolt doors. Man, Bess could be an ace if Xiphos wants to go that direction. Bess is like a hard counter to archers. So yeah, we'll see what he brings. Very excited for this. Will he bring a bloated corpse? Probably not. I think he wants to win. He's playing a very good opponent. So I think Xiphos is going to go try hard, which is what I'd want to see. There'll be a vote for the next campaign once I finish Alberic. Alberic probably has like 2 or 3 more episodes left. Probably 2. We're pretty close. We only need like 600 or 500 chivalry or something. Or actually 400, yeah. Grimgor could ride a giant. Like you know how like parents carry their kids when the kids are like, you know, on the shoulders. Grimgor just like rides the giant and has his legs around its neck. Yeah, I might use greatswords, Alex. I'm not sure. A chariot pulled by Franz. What? Choco, no. I think the Dreadsaurian and Razordons need buffs. They're both pretty terrible. Yeah, they're both bad units. I don't have Tic-Tac-Toe downloaded yet. It would only take me a couple minutes to get him, though, so. Turin, have we ever seen anyone manually fire Queen Bess? I don't know if we've seen that. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen anybody do that, really. Make Nakai Mortal Empires campaign? Yeah, he'll be up for vote. He'll be up for vote once we finish Alberic. Put Grimgor on a War Sphinx and give him a mounted Hellblaster with Lore of Life spells. Now it's just getting over the top. Bess, I really do think Bess is good against archers. Like, really good. Bess is incredibly solid against Tomb Kings also. Like, Bessie is, like, I think competitive. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Queen Bess. Like, I've seen games won single-handedly by Bess. Like, the rest of the vampires just suck, but Bess carries. I actually have a battle against King of the Dead going up, where I was just like, everything was going bad for me except Queen Bess, and she just carries me into the sunset. Yeah, it's crazy. The Ark of Sotek is terrible as well. That's like just an absolute shit unit. Yeah. So Xiphos being very methodical here with his picks. He's working through it. What does he got? We shall find out soon. Soon, brothers. A lot of leaks about Warcraft Reforged as well. I'm quite excited for that. Quite excited for that. Oh man, the Grimgor ideas are just going on strong. Grimgor launched out of Queen Bess. Yeah, that would be like the most ambitious crossover, right, since Avengers. Grimgor and Bess. Imagine with every Bess shot, another Grimgor appears. And you just have to fight another one. I'm going to be doing fantasy and AOS for tabletop, Mr. Viking. I do think Ogre Kingdoms will be added eventually. I do. Hey, Torsten Falina, thank you so much for the 2, man. I don't see a message, but regardless, I appreciate the donation, man. I don't know if there's anything you wanted me to answer or something, but thank you. Yeah, Bess is a must. Like Bess with Gunnery Whites. So basically what you do is you bring Bess and double Gunnery White on the crabs. I was actually inspired by you, Zablasky, to start playing that way with Coast. And so yeah, Zablasky definitely sent me some sweet replays of that. You basically use Bess to kill the archers, and when they come in with phoenixes and single entities, the two guys on the crabs just snipe and like counterfight them, and it's really, really strong. And on this map too, Bess is really good because the bolt throwers from the High Elves won't be able to shoot easily. So Bess is like, I think, a must bring here, in my opinion. How do you deal with Tomb Kings using High Elves? Honestly, like nobles are pretty good. Like nobles on horseback with like Teclis. I use phoenixes. Like double Flamespire Phoenix is really strong. The fire damage is really good. They have good AP. Their bombardments are super good against skeletons. So like Flamespire Phoenixes would be my #1 suggestion. Make sure you have the capabilities of healing them. Tyrion with Sunfang can be pretty good as well. Yeah, so that would be my 2 cents. Like Flamespire Phoenixes are your best bet. Flamespire Phoenixes, Spearmen, Tyrion or Teclis, they all do the trick. Teclis is pretty good because he can regrowth the Phoenixes, plus he has a flaming sword. And then you can mix in any number of other things. All right, so no best pick coming in. Actually going for a bum rush, which I think is going to play into the strengths of Makip's army. So let's take a look. So he does have Luther Harkin. Luther is in a very competitive lord, an absolute monster. A good AP, just a powerhouse of a character. He does also have a Vampire Fleet Captain. On the ground, he's got a bunch of deckhand mobs, 2 groups of Sirens. Sirens cause terror, and as far as magic damage goes... Makip has freaking Sisters of Averlorn. Oh god, Sirens and Morngulls are going to get shreked. So he's got 2 Sirens to cause... They do cause terror, which is nice. A bunch of Morngulls, and yeah, just bats and dogs. So really it's going to come down to his bat and dog play. If he can get Scurvy Dogs into the archer line and bats really pinning them down, his front line will win. But Sisters, oof, that's going to be really nasty. Now for the forces of Makip here, like Queen Bess would just destroy this army. Like destroy. If you had Queen Bess like back here and you're just cackling, like you would just annihilate the Sisters. It would be such good value. It's a shame. Anyways, for the force of the High Elves here, it's going to be Spearmen in the front line, Archers in the secondary, Sisters in the back, Lothern Seaguard in the far back, and Illyrian Reavers. I mean, this is a nasty, nasty anti-coast army. It has everything you need, really. One thing that's going to be really important for Makip, he needs to make sure that he uses his Reavers to fend off the Scurvy Dogs. The one way that Xiphos can really win this is if he gets Scurvy Dogs to really blitz in and just, pin down the good archers. Up in the sky, we have Valariel with Tempest, which is going to be great against Luther, plus Earthblood. And this is going to be tough. Yeah, I don't know. I think if Makip plays well, there's very little chance for Xiphos to win this. Like, very little chance. Yeah. This is a big ouchie indeed. Garland, let me go ahead and go up to your message. Turin, is there any Empire matchup you would consider not bringing Caster? No, I would bring Caster every time. Yeah. Yeah, Laura Fire is pretty good with High Elves if you have the, or having Teclis with Flaming Sword of Ruin and Kindle Flame, because it gives the Sisters of Avalorn extra damage. Because Kindle Flame gives 22% fire weakness, Sisters get 22% more damage, which again, it's like an extra, 4, 5, or 6 missile damage there, give or take. So it's really strong. And plus the damage from the buff alone is good. So yeah, Laura Fire, Teclis is really good. I think Teclis is a great pick here. And actually, I do think Teclis is better than Alariel in this type of an army because Nets are just so good. And plus, like, his other spells are quite solid against Vampire Coast. No need to wait for me. I mean, look, he can still win this. Xiphos can still win this. If he's able to get some really good goonings with Luther, get the dogs into the Sisters, and really just pound that front line and terror out, there's not going to be much in the way of sustainability. I mean, there's not much of a front line here. It's only 4 Spearmen. So if he can minimize the amount of missile damage he takes on the approach, he could certainly still win this. It's very possible, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult, in my opinion. Yeah, you should always bring a Caster Garland, I think. Yeah, always. I'm trying to think of like matchups in which, like, even against Dwarves, Casters are really good. Like, just summon Manticores or use like big AoE blob, like Purple Sun spells and things like that, and you'll be good. Grimgore basically is a bloated corpse without the explosion. Yeah, that's a great analogy. Man, 1,500 people watching. Thank you guys so much. And make sure to tune in this weekend to Total War Official, where we'll have the Ever Chosen going on, for anyone who hasn't heard about that. So up here in the sky, Alariel the Pigeon Queen going to be taken to the skies, looking to meet Luther. Luther is going to be in a lot of trouble here. If he slips up once, and those Sisters are able to just take him to Pound Town, oh man, that is going to be really bad. Like, because Tempest slows him by 75%, so he's not going to be able to juke too effectively with a good Tempest. Plus, Tempest also does damage. So Luther is going to be flying forward, and Xiphos immediately is going to be seeing this massive wall of archers, which is now visible to him. So probably going to pull back and dodge that. Really nice juking. Xiphos obviously very, very good at that. Tempest may go down here. I wonder. I might actually use Tempest here if I were Makip. Like, I might drop that on Luther Harkin right now. It's a little bit tricky. Man, that juking is so good, though. Look how good he is at that. He's literally taking, like, maybe 20% of this firepower. Like, the rest of it is just missing. So it looks like Tempest is going to be used on Fellbats over here, which is an interesting choice. It will do really well against Fellbats. And as a matter of fact, Alariel can fly over there and take out the Fellbats while they're Tempested. That's not a word. While they're afflicted by Tempest. And I guess he's trying to make sure his archers don't get jumped. So in the meantime, some of the Cav are going to be cycle charging into the front line. Not sure if that was a good idea because Luther's nearby, Bats are nearby. They're going to be taking more damage than they accrued. Nonetheless, though, I don't see this zombie front line making it. Like, this is just a nasty archer core. But Xiphos is going to be coming around the back with some Fellbats. Scurvy Dogs have emerged from the trees, which is going to be quite good. But these zombies are just getting shreked so freaking hard. Oh my god, look at that firepower coming in. That is an awesome high elf army for sure. So, yeah, zombies are going down. Sisters, if Makip is paying attention, should 100% be switched onto the Sirens. Sirens, of course, take extra damage from, well, they're ethereal, so magic damage really just kills them quite quickly. On the flank here, Morngulls are coming in with the Sirens. Fellbats have engaged on the Sisters, and some Scurvy Dogs are going to be getting into the Sisters as well. And also, there are summons here. The Vampire Fleet Admiral could come down, but the zombie chaff is basically gone. Luther Harkin dropping a nice Death Streak right there, which does some really good damage. Takes out about 11 Sisters, I think, of Avalon. Yeah, quite good. Some Scurvy Dogs looking for opportunities. Some are chewing on the heels of the Lothran Seaguard here in the back. Sirens are getting focused by the Sisters, but, you know, Xiphos doing a really good job getting his infantry in, you know, despite the frontline fight being very dicey. So, Morngulls got some jukes. They're able to juke out the spear line. Now they can surge into the archers. And Xiphos does have summons, too. So now that the archer line is a little bit mucked up, he should be able to get some good summons and potentially muck these guys down. And the fact that these Morngulls are going to get on the archers and then on over to the Sisters of Averlorn is quite good. But Spearmen are coming in, and yeah, it's just going to be a lot to deal with, despite the really good engagements. So on the flank, we have Lothran Seaguard fighting against Sirens. We have some Morngulls trying to push in while they are taking some Overwatch fire from Sisters. And now we have Alariel. I wonder where she's going to go. I wonder if she's going to go try and fight Luther. Probably would not be the best idea, but, you know, despite the army composition being really tough for Xiphos, he's doing a really good job. Like, he was able to get in, and a lot of the archers are mucked up by different threats. But the thing is these Morngulls over here, this whole pocket of pressure here from the Vampire Coast probably is going to be melted here in a moment. And on the far side, let's take a look. So we have Lothran Seaguard fighting against Sirens, but with Alariel there, I believe she does magic damage. She does. So the magic damage from Alariel is going to be super good against Sirens as well. Lothran Seaguard are firing. Sisters are coming back online. The basic archers are taking a bit of a beating, but you can see Xiphos' army is slowly kind of being dragged down here on this particular side of the battlefield. Look at the Scurvy Dog play. Really, really persistent here. Xiphos really trying to keep those guys alive. 90 speed on the Reavers compared to 95 on the Dog, so they should be able to get away. Now, in the meantime, Archer's back online, shooting into the Morngulls. It looks like these Sirens are crumbling over here, so he basically just fought them long enough here with Alariel to make sure they crumble. And now Alariel is going to be jumping in for a bit of a push here onto the Morngulls, really trying to melt those guys. And it looks like he might be able to. They're crumbling as well. The balance is actually pretty, not even, but, you know, it's attainable. If Luther is able to get some really good goonings, maybe kill Alariel, take out the Sisters of Averlorn, that's going to potentially open up something for Xiphos. I'm really surprised he's been able to be in this game. Yeah, and Alariel does also have the aura that gives magic damage to nearby troops. So you can see, yeah, the magic damage going off on, I think it, does she have that? I don't know if she brought that. She did not bring it. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, she didn't bring the magical aura. She didn't bring that. Okay. So Alariel here is going to be getting attacked by Luther. So this is a way for Xiphos to get back in the game. If Luther could get a really good gooning here on Alariel, chase her off the battlefield, that would be a potential way for the Vampire Coast to win. But as it stands now, the Vampire attrition is kind of wearing down. Sirens are going, Morngulls are going, and even though the archers are getting pushed back, they're going to come back, and there's going to be a second resurgence of high firepower, which is going to be able to happily shoot into Morngulls, happily shoot into this group here, and just do so much work. So Alariel is going to be pushing down, helping to finish off these Sirens here, which should be disappearing, negative 52, crumbling very, very rapidly. Spearmen finishing off the zombies. And on this side, like I said, the archers get pushed off, but they come back, and they're spread out nicely. So I just don't think Xiphos can win this. I think it's going to be tricky. Anyways, here come the archers shooting in. Morngulls going down. We have the Morngulls here, taking a bit of a buttering as well. And the last of the High Elf Spearmen are going to be surging in. There is some terror here. And Luther's still alive. Nice breath attack. Oh, look at that breath attack on those Lothran Seaguard. Outstanding, outstanding cast right there. Luther coming in to try and finish off some archers, maybe shatter those guys if he can break them a couple times over. But Alariel over here is able to pretty much, yeah, getting this value train, just taking out these Morngulls is so good. Ammunition's pretty good as well for the High Elves. We have about 40% on all these guys, give or take, around 40 or 50%. This other group of Morngulls is going down, and it looks like these guys were actually able to capture those other Scurvy Dogs. So now it's basically going to be Luther versus the world. He does have his Vampire Caster. Invocation could maybe resurrect some Morngulfs and Syrenes, but Alarielle might be coming for that booty right now. She might be able to come in and get him. Let's see, 851. She's being careful because she knows Luther's nearby, but no, she's going to be swooping in. Her pigeon thirsts. Oh yeah. So here you can see that Luther Harkin going to be switching on over and actually probably going to be jumping on Alarielle, I would imagine. Although going and dealing with the sisters with their fire damage against him is also an important thing. But I think Xiphos at this point is so much on the ropes. Just the archers were such a counter to Xiphos' build. He had, you know, Morngulfs and Syrenes against sisters and archers and Lothar and Seaguard. That is a very, very rough style of play. I really think Queen Bessie and mortars and things like that are pretty good against the style of play, but I don't know. I guess the rush is also can be good depending on the circumstances. So here we have Luther Harkin, and this could be good. I mean, if he can goon Alarielle, but it looks like Alarielle, yeah, he's just going to be scooping from there. There was very little chance. So that is going to be game one, going to Makip here. The champion dropping the first game, but he'll be back, I'm sure, as he switches to Wood Elves here in this next game, I would imagine. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Well played, well played. Going Angui next. Xiphos says, yep, got countered. So hopeless. Yeah, it was a brutal one. What's up, my son? My son Herbert Walker, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. We had a glorious showdown. Wicked's Grimgore. He did go down as a hero. That was a huge breath. Yeah, it was a really good one. I'm telling you, Queen Bessie there would have smashed those archers. So now it is time for Makip to pick and bounce. He's ahead of me. So he's going to go Empire, and ban Dwarves, which is smart. I feel like Empire has okay matchups versus everyone else except Dwarves. Dwarves is a really brutal matchup for them, in my opinion. Aerocrostic in chat says, if Xiphos found a way to squeeze in a third or fourth Scurvy Dog, he would have had this. Probably, yeah. Scurvy Dogs were the other answer to archers for sure. But his main core line of Syrenes plus Morngulfs was so countered by that. Yeah. Yeah, Queen Bessie just rakes in the kills there. Especially on that map where you don't have to... it has that huge hill, right? So you don't have to worry about the Reaper Bolt Thrower fire. But Xiphos, whenever... we saw this earlier. When he dropped a game, he goes to Wood Elves. And I haven't seen Xiphos lose on Wood Elves on my channel in ages. He is so freaking good with them. So Wood Elves versus Empire, going to be fun. I wonder if Makip is going to go with, Mass Empire Knights and Reiksguard and a very traditional Cav Blitz of heavy armor. But I feel like Xiphos is pretty good against that, so I feel like he might surprise us and maybe go with a bunch of state troops and who knows, maybe Huntsmen or stuff like that. I mean, it could get crazy. Cheap archers. There's so many different ways the Empire can play. Maybe War Wagons. It's not going to be War Wagons, trust me. But anyways, guys, I'm going to grab some water. Yes. Yeah, it's really funny. Whenever I mention my son Herbert Walker, people are thinking I'm talking about my child or something. It's really funny. Alex Hartman, the first game was really good. Yeah, it was a good game. Xiphos got countered a bit, but, he's a scrapper. Got myself some more tea. Some herbal tea. Zablasky says, 3 cannons and the Empire wins. Perhaps so, brother. Yeah, a crab rush would have been better, Shetland. Yeah, for sure. Maybe mostly crabs with maybe 1 or 2 Morngulfs on the far flanks just to creep in. Yeah, the crabs would take a lot from sisters, but regular archers don't do much against crabs. I mean, they do, but it takes a while. Yeah. Hey, Alex Hartman, welcome to the stream, man. Yeah. I wonder how Makip's going to play this. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. What shall Xiphos bring? Xiphos, of course, is playing in this weekend's Everchosen. Going to be quite a bit of fun to see that. Looks like everything's good on the stream side. No drama there. Everything's all good in the hood. No, not Nurgle tea. It's just like Christmas tea. It's kind of like winter Christmas tea. Yeah, it's pretty good. We still have there's so many fires going on in California right now, all over the place. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's been really bad for the air quality's been horrible. Mortars can be dodged, asking Queen Bess, but it's still forcing your opponent to dodge rather than just letting them scoot forward and do as they please, Hellblasters, though, Mr. Lou, you have to remember that Hellblasters have line of sight issues. So if you're playing on a map like that, the Hellblaster is not going to be able to shoot over the hill. So Hellblasters can be okay. Shell and Apache. Let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. Actually, you know what? I'll just minimize and look. This weekend's Ever Chosen, we have Aerocrastic, Dob Plays, Falcon, Yalinale, King of the Dead, Zyphos, Chief, Intellect and Soothsayer. And it's going to be casted by myself, Loremaster of Sotek, Italian Spartacus, and Party Elite. I don't think I missed anyone. Yeah, I think I got everyone. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited. Yeah, should be good, brother. Are someone saying that Dov is like 48 years old? Yes, I am. I'll be there. No, Dov is like my age. I think Dov's younger than me. I think he's in his 20s. I'm 31, and I think Dov's like younger than I am. I think he's like 28 or something. He's not 48 years old. Oh my god. Oh. Whew. Let me make sure they don't have any questions. Just saying good luck, have fun. Zyphos with the very careful picks and bans here. California is like a trick birthday candle, I know. That's a great analogy, Dead Adventurer. Alrighty. This job is not 48, dude. Come on. Let me see if there's still fires. California. Let's see how gnarly the fires are still. I've been having like allergies for the past, and breathing issues for the past couple days. It's horrible. All right, let's see. I'm checking out the fires to see if they're still going. We have like an interactive map here. Get out of here with this map. Come on. Damn, they're freaking everywhere. There's like fires all up in Fresno. We have like a website in California. Yeah. There's like a huge fire right next to me. Like right up the ways. And it's only 45% contained. It's been going on for like a freaking week. It's nuts. Must be a big one, Jesus. It's unfortunate. I always feel bad for the animals, you know? It's really sad. Yeah, earthquakes, all kinds of stuff. For the next campaign, I'd be happy if you took Vlad and Lady Karshine. That campaign's so easy, though. I feel like the Vampire Count campaign is so easy. Like, especially Vlad. He's one of the best campaign lords, like, hands down. I remember I played a head-to-head campaign with Italian Spartacus, and I used Vlad, and it was just, like, so OP. We haven't put the vote up yet. All right, guys, so here we are in Game 2 of the finals of today's qualifier. Zyphos, down a game, but certainly going to be playing his strongest faction here. He's got 3 Way Watchers, 3 Wild Riders, a bunch of Spearmen, a Way Stalker as well, potentially to snipe casters, and it looks like he does have a Glade Lord with Prey of Anathrema, and it looks like a Spellsinger with Life. Pretty good stuff. He does also have, actually, the Dwellers Below, guys, so a bit of a wild pick coming in from that. But nonetheless, Dwellers Below can really wreck heavy blobs and things like that. So, yeah, the Way Watcher is obviously just so hard to beat. Now, for the forces of Machip, he's got Swordsmen, Spearmen, just, frontline of state troops. A couple of groups of archers himself. So, Huntsmen. So, 2 groups of Huntsmen. And what's cool about Huntsmen against Wood Elves, as you guys have probably noticed, they're in a very loose formation. So, these guys aren't going to be taking as much, they're a little bit more durable against missile pressure, which is cool. In the back, we got mortars. Oh, Hellblaster volley guns. What? What's happening, guys? Hellblasters. It's here. 2 of them. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Silver Bullets, a bunch of Swordsmen, State Troops, Empire Knights to just kind of fend off Wild Riders. Oh, actually, Reichsguard, and Empire Knights. Okay, so 2 and 2. And we got an Arch Lector with a Hammer of Sigmar and a Deathcaster. So very simplistic army, but the Hellblaster volley guns, if you can protect those, they're going to be doing a lot of damage. Guys, double Hellblaster volley gun. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Sofa Muncher, glad to hear that, man. Yeah, I prefer the vanilla experience of the game. I'm sure SFO is great, but for me, I like to learn, since I'm not like a super seasoned campaign player, although I'm getting a little bit more experienced. I still want to learn all the vanilla stuff before I, delve into mods and things like that. Guys, double Hellblaster. It's on. Yeah, the thing is, if Xiphos is able to kind of creep up here and get like a big focus volley on the Hellblaster and get it early, that would really suck. But honestly, I love this army here from Machip. Like, he's going to use the Huntsman as a bit of a screen, but they do have loose formation and aren't the most expensive target. So that is very heavy metal. I know, Chaos is like attacking California. I went to a Raiders game when I was like 7 or 8 years old, yeah. I don't even really remember it though. I just have like a picture from it. It was pretty gnarly. We weren't sitting in the pit though, so it wasn't so bad. Oh god, please don't make me do Skarsnik campaign. Yeah, I'm excited to see the Hellblasters, so let's go ahead and watch. So, Way Watchers are out on the flank. They are hidden right now, so currently the Empire is not aware that they're over there. Granted, it looked like he is just going to be pushing towards the forest in general, which should kind of discover this. Oh my god, the Hellblasters are going in! They're shooting at the Glade Lord! It looks like Arrow of Kernus is coming in, which should kill one of the models here, but no, he actually keeps him. That's really lucky. So he got to keep his Hellblaster volley guns. They are shaken, but yeah, they can keep shooting. There's also a Waystalker as well. So the Waystalker plus the Glade Lord, both of whom have the Arrow of Kernus, are going to be super good against artillery. But they're shooting in and doing some pretty good damage here against the Glade Lord, actually. Huntsmen, in the meantime, are going to be discovering the Way Watchers, who are going to be unleashing a torrent of fire. But, oh, look at that. Amethyst Wizard actually hurts himself with an Overcast. And what was even Spirit Legion? It looks like the Spirit Leech didn't go off. Maybe he's just getting sniped. So here you can see the Waystalker plus the Glade Lord sniping the Amethyst Wizard, and it looks like there's going to be a Dwellers Below! Man, really heavy metal tactics coming in from Xiphos, so the Dwellers Below should probably kill that cannon crew, I would imagine, or do enough damage to really push them off. So Hellblaster volley gun still shooting in, state troops are moving forward. The Amethyst Wizard looks like he's taking just a royal beating from those Wood Elf Archers, as are the Huntsmen. And yeah, I feel like Xiphos has pretty good control over this game. Yeah, look at that. The Dwellers Below, that is why he brought it as a tech. Against like artillery pieces. Beautiful stuff here from Xiphos. So in the meantime, the Glade Lord's going to be juking. Empire forces are moving forward, but he knows it's a trap probably. Like, there's going to be a ton of Eternal Guard and supporting elements here in the trees, so he's very, very well hidden, very secure here. And yeah, look at that. The freaking Amethyst Wizard had sniped too, and now you can see the bounce of power is already in the favor of Xiphos. Like, you can see it's noticeable. That was really good. That was really, really good sniping there against the Hellblaster volley gun. So the other volley gun's going to be shooting in, still unloading salvos of fire here against these heroic units, and it has pretty good ammo. So, I mean, I think that Machip still could get back in this game. It's going to be a tough one for sure, because the Way Watchers are just going to methodically pick apart these forces, and there's not too much to do about it. Granted, the one group of Way Watchers is very low. It just sucks to have lost that Hellblaster so quickly. Man, that's really, really painful for sure. But anyways, it's doing okay damage. The Waystalker here is quite low. Glade Lord's low. I believe Xiphos has healing, though. He does in the trees. There's a Spellsinger with the Lore of Life, so Earthblood Regrowth could be popped on these guys, and that would be very good and tasty. Xiphos had a bitter experience versus Empire as Wood Elves in another tournament, and has learned his lesson, apparently, so that's what somebody in chat's saying. So, Way Watchers, in the meantime, shooting in against Swordsmen. They are shielded, so it's not really the best target, but honestly, maybe scooting up and going after Huntsmen or Silver Bullets would be better, but I guess he doesn't know Silver Bullets are there. In the meantime, you can see here, there's going to be another Dwellers coming in. Is the crew going to get away? No, they're not. Oh, man! And the Dwellers from below cometh! And these brave state troops are going to be saturated by these earth branches and things like that. Yeah, they're going to be taken apart. He almost gets away. He does drop the crew there at the last second, but it looks like they break. There's only 8 models left, negative 21. They might come back, but the Empire pretty much at this point sounds the clarion horn, or the horn, or I guess that's more of a Bretonnian thing. But they sound the horn to battle. They charge forward, but now it's pretty much Xiphos' game. Oh man, like all the high value units just being methodically picked apart. Methodically picked apart. He's attacking with the Way Watchers. Yeah, he is. And plus his Lords are shooting as well. His Waystalkers and his Glade Lord were shooting the entire time. So yeah, you can see here the Empire's going to be surging into the forest. The Waystalker going to be getting a little bit of focus fire as the Arch-Lector goes in pretty balls deep. Ravenoth Rama is going to be going down. Knew it. And the Way Watchers just... Oh, God! Oh, the brutality. Oh. Anakin, I'm so weak. God, that's so brutal. Wood Elves... Like, good Wood Elf players with this, it's so gnarly. Oh, that Arch-Lector just dumpstered. But nonetheless, a nice little charge here. Some Reiksguard do get onto the Way Watchers here. And you can see that the Reiksguard are going to be countercharged by the Wild Riders, and plus there's Eternal Guard nearby, so even though Reiksguard do beat Wild Riders, like, it's a good fight for them. the spears nearby are going to be a big game-changing factor here. So the Empire is cursed by Honoraire, and they're going to be trying to get up and around, maybe get a full surround or something, but it'll be so hard to come back from this, especially like no lords, no casters, no high-value artillery. It's mainly just state troops right now, as well as cav and things like that. And man, I don't know. You sound the horn. All right, so Empire Knights are coming in. Here they go. But again, Empire Knights are going to struggle fighting in the forest. So this is just going to be like an ultimately haggard engagement for them. Wild Riders are pulling back from this blob, which is pretty much already won for the Wood Elves. So these Wild Riders with Shield of Thorns will be a great roadblock to buy time until some other Eternal Guard can get here and get in this situation. So absolutely gruesome indeed. The Empire has some Huntsmen, which are actually doing a good job. The Huntsmen and Silver Bullets are melting the Sisters of Thorn. And really, I mean, the battle, like, considering the circumstances, isn't going as bad for the Empire as it could be. But just losing those Hellblaster volley guns, like, and the frickin' Lord and the Caster that early is just so hard to come back from. So hard to come back from. So here come these Spearmen. They're going to be surging into the forest, trying to help Reiksguard Knights getting dragged down, the other Reiksguard Knights in a blob, and now Xiphos was able to get his Wild Riders up and around and sweep around the back, and now he's jumping onto the Huntsmen. He's going to sweep the Silver Bullets, he's going to sweep the other Huntsmen, and he's just going to be 1, 2, 3, just buttering all this bread. Some of the Empire troops can pull back, some Reiksguard will pull back to try and help out, but there's only 14 of them against a full health group of Wild Riders. And like I said, though they are a bit of a counter to Wild Riders in terms of just pure vacuum combat, it's not going to be enough. Man. Nasty, nasty stuff. Well, you can only ban, as far as our rules go, you can only ban a faction once. So you can't, like, ban, you know, frickin' Wood Elves every single game. So he's going to get Wood Elves eventually. Otherwise, if you're playing against someone who's a specialist, you would just ban their best faction every game, and it'd be kind of stupid. All right, so next game. Well played. It's 1-1. The series is tied up. We shall go to the Iron Sand Desert. Yeah, cannons could be a little bit further back for sure. Like, it'll be harder for the caster because Hellblasters have really short range compared to a cannon. So a cannon further back, I like that idea, Zablasky. I do think that's pretty good. That was a nasty one for sure. Empire came to the wrong elfhood. Apparently so. Apparently so, my friends. And thank you guys all so much for joining on today's stream. It's been a blast. 1,573 folks hanging out for Sigmar. Sigmar will just pretend he didn't see this, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Xiphos is so freaking good with Wood Elves. I'm excited to see him play them in Everchosen this weekend. All right, so next match. Xiphos picks and bans. Let's see what he's got. Weight Watchers are one of those units that basically flat out OP against the right factions, but meh against others. Yeah, that's fair play. Yeah, I think Weight Watchers like are really strong. Yeah, they're just pretty gross. What makes them gross is Pravenoth Rema though, like because you could like juke their shots sometimes or kind of get away from it, but if somebody has like a snare, that's when it becomes really really nasty. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of like trying to chase Wood Elves down. I like to like force them to come to you. So like I like the idea of the triple cannon and just like a really layered formation of like cheap state troops and cannons just raining fire because the cannons could stay out of range of the dwellers below and things like that. So yeah. So as far as the gold, it's 12,400 gold. So if anybody's like wondering about multiplayer, they're making like custom battle armies. Large funds is what tournaments are played on typically, as well as quick battles, and it's 12,400 gold. Yeah, Evan, I will someday, yes. I'm just going to get through my Eternal Challenger League first, and then from there I'm going to be doing other kind of like 2v2 tournaments and things like that, but I really like to focus on the ECL before I do the other stuff. Perhaps so, Gokthim. Perhaps so. Pickle Cannon says, I'm imagining a pickle cannon. Just to say the stream is as delicious as butter and marmalade on crumpets. That sounds really good. Nigel, it's going really well. Thank you for asking. Shetland Apache says 8 cav mass infantry in Volkmar. Oh, Volkmar the Grim. So guys, we have Xiphos picks and bans. So he picks Skaven and he bans Vampire Coast, and then Machip comes in with Beastmen. Beastmen pretty good at crumping Skaven chaff and bull rushing, and yeah. Razorgore herds are super good. They can chase backline troops, plus they can deal with Doom Wheels and Flares. I feel like Beastmen have a decent matchup here. Morker is also very strong. Unit size is large, correct. Turin, what's your opinion on the new Rune of Wrath and Ruin? I think it's pretty good. I prefer the other one because I like the damage, but this one is still really good. It's different, but it's good. You guys want a sneak peek of some of the ever-chosen matchups for round 1? Actually, I don't think they're finalized yet, but maybe we'll post them tomorrow or something. $2v2 low funds. We've done that quite a bit, Whiskey Waffles. We've had several tournaments like that. Low funds 2v2 tournaments. I think we've had at least 5 or 6 on the channel if you want to go back and watch them. Tiamat64 says, watching the stream on one screen, tanking on Classic WoW on another. Dude, absolute champion, man. Good stuff. Turin, how would you feel if bloated corpses cost 1.5% of your funds like they did in tabletop? I don't know. Yeah, might be too undercosted. Yeah. I don't know, bloated corpses are fun, but yeah, against good players, it's kind of hard to pull them off. Bloaty boys are always a blast. But they're cheap now. They're certainly more viable. Like, I think they're better than Deck Dropper Bombers. Which is, at least they're not the worst unit on the roster anymore. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty. On the road again. I just can't wait to be on the road again. Alrighty, guys. Alrighty, let's see here. Perfect, perfect. Everything's going good. No stream issues. According to the tournament stats, Beastmen have crazy win rates. Yeah, they're really good. I think Beastmen are great. Boston MA. How does it feel to be the John Madden of Total War? So to me, I assume that's coming in as a compliment. But to me, to be called the John Madden of Total War is kind of like, it's a compliment because he's like iconic, but it's also a bit of an insult because John Madden has like the most generic, like, all right, guys, in order to win a game of football, you really got to just get the ball and get it into that end zone. And when you get the ball in the end zone, you score 6 points. And when you score 6 points, you have more points than your opponent. John Madden's very much like kind of a simplistic commentator, but that's kind of what's rich about it. Yeah. Yeah, we had Lizardmen earlier, Wesley. We had a really good Lizardmen versus Wood Elf game. That was amazing. But thank you, man. I'll take it. John Madden's like, I'm a huge fan of John Madden. But his commentary is just like the most like generic. It's great, though. It's great. No! Salverda. Don't get that song stuck in my head again, please. Oh, you get the football, you hand the football to the running back, and the running back just needs to, run up into the end zone. And if you do that, that's 6 points. It's like, John Madden was always very much like, he would just state what he was seeing. Like, he wouldn't give like as much analysis as like some other casters. Yeah. You guys like the John Madden impersonation? Yeah, it's pretty terrible. I'm sorry. No, Boston. I know you meant it as a compliment, man, and I do really appreciate that. I'm a huge John Madden fan, so. I like to think that my analysis is all right. You should voice the tutorial for the next Total War Warhammer. That'd be fun. Yeah. In order to win a game of Total War, you got to kill the enemy army. And to kill the enemy army, the best way to do it is to attack them. It's like John Madden commentary, right? Oh, man. No, stop it, Bill. You're out of touch. You're out of time. I love John Madden. Don't get me wrong. Like, I remember watching him in the 90s with my dad. It's just like it became a meme. Yeah. Yeah, that's why NFL games are called Madden, because of him, yeah. And he was like an excellent coach as well. John Madden was an absolute ace. So thank you for the kind words, Boston MA. I know it was a compliment. It just reminded me of something. I would love to be a voice actor for one of the Lords. I don't know what. But anyways, guys, back to Warhammer. Let's talk about the game. So for the forces of Machip, we have the Beastmen. So he's going to be having Ungor herds in the front line with a couple Bestigors mixed in, probably as a bit of a niche counter against the Council Guard. I think that's pretty good, because Council Guard are a pretty good Helm's Deep unit, and they can be tough for the Beastmen to take down, because again, anti-large is good against pigs, minotaurs, so having the Bestigors I think is quite cool. So mixed in, of course, with a couple Gore Herds, Raiders in the back, Gorbel here, and Malagor, interestingly enough. I really think that Morker is the better choice, but Malagor, I mean, can't give the vigor cycling, and plus he does have some decent AoE spells, but I really think Morker is the way to go. But in the back, he's got 4 Razorgore Herds here, and a couple doggies on the flanks. Yeah, on both sides, that's pretty much it. It's a solid army. Now for the forces of Xiphos Classic Skaven, it looks very much like some of the builds I saw from Aerocrastic the other day, but Skaven Slaves in the front line, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, Clan Rats in the secondary, we have Rattling Gunners, 2 Jezzails actually. Interesting, that's going to be a lot to protect, and we do also have a Grey Seer with Lore of Plague, Storm Vermin in the back, so again, the Bestigor pick is going to be very solid, but are they going to survive the firepower? Hard to say. Rat Ogres as well, and you always have to have some massive Skaven, because if you don't have Rat Ogres, pigs and Minotaurs will just run rampant, like all over your lines, and it's going to be really, really tough. That's my 2 cents. That is my 2 cents. I'll do John Madden commentary at Everchosen, but the one thing you really need to truly do John Madden commentary to make it like really funny is, you know how like when you're watching NFL or things like that, and they have like the commentators can draw on the field. They have like a Sharpie and it like goes on this like kind of digital board. Like that's like the John Madden joke, like 101. There's like a huge meme culture about John Madden commentary. And yeah, you basically just like draw like, you know, things like that. Yeah, it's fun. All right, guys, battle's underway here. Beastmen, of course, going to be going for that full juicy surround. It's really going to come down to, can Xiphos protect his gun line? The Warplock Jezzails and the Rattling Gunners will be very, very good against Bestigors and the Gorbel and, you know, against the pigs if they can survive. But that's a lot of bull rushing. I mean, 4 Razorgore Herds, how many Rat Ogres does he have? It looks like he has 2 Ogres, which will be quite good. Jezzail's shooting in, going downtown, and shooting at... Did they just, like, miss with everything? Is that first volley just a complete whiff? The Rattling Gunners also need to scoot up here because you can see they don't have line of sight. So they need to get up on this high ground, otherwise they're not really going to be able to shoot. It looks like they're going after the Bestigor Herds. Maybe going to be switching some focus fire onto the Gorbels, I think would be good. Yeah, a little bit tricky. Anyways, in the front line, a Bray Scream does go down, which pretty much wrecks those Clan Rats. A really good play there from Machip so far, getting rid of some of the chaff in the front line. And the Rattling Gunners going to be opening up in the Gore Herds. Probably want to switch them onto the Bestigor Herds immediately, but Rattling Gunners also have 70 armor. So do Jezzails. So Raiders won't melt them super quick, but nonetheless, still should be impactful. Now the pigs are coming in. Rat Ogres are out on the flanks, maybe looking to intercept some of the doggies here, but it looks like he actually does have more Rat Ogres. No, he does have like 3 actually. I thought it was just 2, but some hounds coming around the back as well. It's really going to be testing Xiphos' micro. Is he going to be able to kind of hold back the tide here? So to help kind of hold back the advance, he is going to be summoning some Clan Rats, and I would imagine that these Gore Herds are going to be intercepted by the Grey Seer. Now the dogs in the back are parking, a Bray Scream going down there, which is a bit of a whiff, doesn't really make contact, and Malagor also has taken some damage from overcasting attempts. Razorgore is going to be charging in the front line with the Bestigors, so really just trying to monster mash down the front line. And now comes the time for Machip to get his hounds. He needs to get those hounds. He needs to like drift through these openings, because if he could get these hounds up and through this big hole right here, that's what she said, and then come in and really jump on top of the Warplock Jezzails and Rattling Gunners, man, that would just be game breaking. And really good control here by Machip. Look at that. If he follows through, push through, he needs to get those hounds in. But that little delay gives Xiphos the time, obviously a very, very solid player here, that he needs to intercept them with Clan Rats. Some of them will get onto the Rattling Gunners, but they all are also now tied up a little bit by some of the Clan Rats. In the meantime, doggies coming in from multiple directions, so one drifts through there, the other one comes right through the middle. Man, really good micro for sure, but it looks like one of them is going to get a square charge onto the Warplock Jezzail, so the Jezzails here are going to be getting crumped. That group is probably done for. They're going to be taking so much damage. Rat Ogres and supporting elements do come in to help out, but those Jezzails, man, taking really, really brutal damage. Now in the frontline fight, you can see Malagor is in there. He's got some pigs, he's got Bestigors, and it looks like the Beastmen are kind of breaking their way through the front line. Plus, on top of that, Big Papa Gorbel is just giving the horns to this freaking Grey Seer. He does have the Axe of Men, so he now causes terror, so nearby Skaven can get terror routed. Really, really good play there by Machip. So you can see here that the Gorbel is on the hunt. In the meantime, Rattling Guns weapon teams are shooting in. Really good peeling here from Xiphos, getting the Rattling Gunners to peel off the Gorbel. Outstanding play, and I can't believe these Rattling Gunners are still alive despite all this Beastmen pressure. And it looks like for the first time of the game, the Beastmen have kind of been halted a little bit. The Skaven have most of the Beastmen on this side of the battlefield, and they have, I wouldn't call it a secure backline, but at least they have some stuff here that is able to kind of sit and shoot. The Raiders, in the meantime, have switched their firepower onto the Rattling Guns weapons teams, which is a really good choice. Taking those guys out, they're pretty much one of the last big threats the Skaven have here. Some Rat Ogres are able to get on the Raiders, but some pigs are intercepting, though Rat Ogres have a great matchup against pigs, especially when supported by Clan Rats, just like chaff units. So Bounce Power is still very even. Gorbel in the back just going a little bit deep. Malagor here was able to get on top of the Rattling Gun, so he needs to get away here, pull in some Clan Rats, screen these boys out, and get that last just batch of Focus Fire here to take out the Gorbel. Now this is actually a good situation here for Xiphos. These Jezzails are routing, but they're going to come back in a second. When they come back, if Xiphos is quick enough on the draw to get those Jezzails to start shooting again at the Gorbel, man, that is going to be huge value because they still have 21 of their 24 models. This is like full firepower, and Xiphos was watching that like a hawk. And now you can see the Jezzails are back online. They're going to start shooting at the Gorbel. Gorbel's going down, and with Gorbel going down, that is going to open up the battle for the Skaven. So now you can see the Skaven, with the Gorbel pressure gone, are going to be cleaning up over here. They're pushing back the Beast Herd on just so many fronts, and the Storm Vermin are actually still in okay shape. Man, crazy stuff. Very, very even battle up until that point, for sure. And Malagor here is going to get crumped, for sure. He's terrible in combat. The Rat Ogres plus these Storm Vermin should take him out, and Machip knows it's over. And Xiphos is going to take the win! 2-1! And guys, this is best of 5, so remember, the game is not over. If Xiphos wins the game after this, he will be the champion for today. But again, if Machip takes the next game, who knows? Really, really good game. I come from the land down under. Alright, so let's go ahead and update this. No, stop it, catchy 80s songs. Stop. Xiphos up 2-1 here in this best of 5. And now we shall be on the Stallion Tomb. Two, three, so. Alrighty. That was a really good cleanup there. It was a great battle. I love For Whom the Bell Tolls. That's probably one of my favorite Metallica songs. It's so freaking heavy metal. Xiphos says, I thought I lost that pretty hard. He says he'll go Dark Elves and ban... Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah. Mookip's going Dark Elves and banning High Elves. Okay. That's pretty smart, because Xiphos has used his Wood Elves. He probably doesn't want to play a mirror match, so he's forcing Xiphos off an Elf pick, which is really good. Great bans here by Mookip. I like that a lot. Sofa Muncher says, Turin, do you know I ran by a flock of seagulls? Oh god, please no. Stop, guys. Stop it. I do have an 80s playlist on Spotify, yeah. I literally, like, that's all I listen to these days, is like 90s and 80s music, yeah. Last night, I listened to Hall & Oates. I Died in Your Arms Tonight. Oh my god, it's so good. There's just so many, like, catchy songs. And I ran so far away. Just so much good stuff. Oh my god. Stop it. Stop it. No more. Machip says, probably didn't use my pigs right. Xiphos says it was pretty messy. Hard to tell. Xiphos can't play Skaven again, so he has to pick someone else. Let's see what he picks. Christian, that's some good John Madden commentary. What is the best faction to fight Skaven? Skaven are really strong, honestly. I personally love playing Empire against them, but I don't know, man. Vampire Coast, I feel like, is okay against Skaven. Because you just bring cannons. You can really do a lot of work there. Yeah, Vampire Coast is probably pretty good against Skaven. I've heard Mastodon before. Turin, I think you need a Cure for that. Oh, Boston! The Cure is good, too. I like a couple of their songs. Yeah. Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a Rose, I think, was late 90s. Zosia says, Turin, ask your better half about a song from Fasolki. Okay, I'll ask her when she gets back. We had some great dwarf games today, though. Xiphos coming in with the Bretonians. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, baby. This is going to be good. I'm excited for this. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. Oh, man. Let's see. You guys like Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins? Depeche Mode's pretty good. You know, I was always more of a Metallica fan than Slayer. Granted, I know Slayer. I like Slayer for sure, but I prefer Metallica. It's just a personal preference. I understand Slayer's great. Let's see what other like really. Let me go and look at my list here. See what I've been jamming to. I have to be careful not to click it, or otherwise it's gonna freaking play. And yeah, I've been listening to Queens of the Stone Age a lot too, and Aerosmith, Dream On. I was jamming to that. Some Black Sabbath as well. Children of the Grave. That song's awesome. All right, so it looks like Makip is ready. Zyphos on his Bretonians, getting ready to party. Yeah, Blue Sky is a great song. I think that's what it's called. The Commodores, yeah. Yeah, they're not bad. I don't know them as well, though. The Who? Bob O'Reilly's a great song. Yeah, I really like that one. I bless the rains down. Yeah, you see, Toto in Africa is funny, but I can't like listen to it a lot. You know, I actually like Led Zeppelin quite a bit. What I really like about several Led Zeppelin songs is they have like Lord of the Rings aesthetics. Like if you listen to the song by Led Zeppelin, which is called the Battle for Evermore, it literally is like talking about Tolkien stuff. Like it's talking about ring wraiths and it's so good. But yeah, my favorite Led Zeppelin song is Since I've Been Loving You. That song is so freaking good. It's just like, oh. Yeah. So. Yeah, Pink Floyd's great. Yeah, Pink Floyd's good. I'm a fan of them. I've heard Man of War. I haven't listened to them too much. I'm going to be taking some of these suggestions from you guys and checking them out after the stream. It's nice we're having this good conversation in between games, you know? For whom the bell tolls. I thought about making a video with the Skaven, For Whom the Bell Tolls, but... Eric Fusco, thank you so much for the $20 donation. He says, Forza Lady, great stream today. Hey, man. Glad you're enjoying it. Glad you're enjoying it. Kashmir is a great song. Immigrant song. Rock and roll. Battle for Evermore is good. I actually really like the song Achilles' Last Stand. That's a really, really good Zeppelin song. But Since I've Been Loving You is my favorite. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Yeah, Zeppelin has a lot of Lord of the Rings references. Yeah, absolutely. ZZ Top, Sharp Dressed Man. Because every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man. Yeah, my grandpa used to listen to ZZ Top before he passed away. Yeah. Sharp Dressed Man is like such a catchy song. St. Augustine says, hey, Turin, I've been struggling with suicidal thoughts and anxiety, but I wanted to say thanks for your help and wish I could... Don't give me money, man. St. Augustine, hopefully we can help you out, man. And if you ever need to chat, just shoot me a message on Discord. I'm glad we can be of help here, man. Yeah, but always feel free to hit me up on Discord. I might not respond with a big block of text because typing is really painful for me, but I'll do what I can, man. Achilles' Last Stand has a really epic ending. Sabaton's fun. I couldn't like listen to Sabaton consistently, but every now and then like throwing on one while you're playing a quick battle's fun. Yeah, all the best wishes, St. Augustine. We got you, man. Just hang tight and we'll do what we can. Oh, I love Billy Idol. Rebel Yell, White Wedding. Those songs are great. It's a nice day for a white wedding. Then there's a song, if you guys look up the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath, the beginning's a little bit slow, but the ending is like super epic. Yeah, absolutely. Daniel Gallagher has a great point for sure. Yeah, Mr. Augustine, I mean, if you definitely want to seek help if you're having those feelings, but of course, we're here for you however we can. Yeah, Zeppelin's great. I haven't listened to them in a long time. A long, long time. James Watson says, wow, I'm 53 and you guys listen to Zeppelin. My little sister will love you. That's cool. Yeah, we do, man. All right, guys, here we go. Bretonnia, Zyphos. If Zyphos wins this, he will be advancing on to the grand finals. He will be the big Pumbaa. It's going to be great. So for the army of Bretonnia, classic peasant mobs in the front line. Secondary line is going to be men-at-arms, followed up by peasant bowmen. Peasant bowmen pretty good against dark elves. Really good target priority against witch elves and other things like that. In the back, we have the Beast Slayers Bastone, and we got the Holy Wardens, Spears in the flanks, and Royal Pegasus Knights with a freaking wild Alberic pick. So Alberic does have a trident, which gives bonus first large to everyone. So basically, if you're nearby, let's say men-at-arms and things like that, he can give bonus first large to like even the chaff infantry, which is really cool. Like Holy Wardens can get bonus first large, which is great. But double Pegasus Knight in the back, he does have the companions, and that's pretty much it. Heaven's Caster and a Life Caster as well. Absolutely, yeah, it's gonna be good. Gonna be good. Nice little Bretonnian army, and for the forces of the Dark Elves, we got swordsmen, we got bleak swords. Well, bleak swords are swordsmen. We got bleak swords, we got witch elves, 2 groups of Cold One Knights. We got Crone Hellebron. What planet is this? So many weird picks today. Absolute anarchy. Yes, it's going to be good. Crone Hellebron. We got Cold One Knights, and more Cold One Knights. Classic stuff. Usually just grind down the Bretonnian infantry with bleak swords and sisters or witch elves. That's more than enough. Then just fight their cav game with cold ones. But it looks like he does also have Dread Knights. So what he's going to be doing with Crone Hellebron, he's going to be using the Madness of Cain to make his Cold One Knights into just absolute linebackers, which is great. So he does have Dread Knights mixed in. So Dread Knights, it looks like a 2-to-2 ratio there. Yeah. That's going to be really interesting. Bretonnia also has to watch out. If the Witch Elves are able to rampage Pegasus Knights, that can be a really quick game. So you need to be careful for that. 100%. Yeah. I'm really excited to see this. This is going to be fun. So here we go. The Peasants of Bretonnia shall surge forward. Pegasus Knights, he's going to have to play a very defensive game because the Cav Core here of Machip is really scary with the Crone actually buffing them. Like, Pegasus Knights can't really take a square engagement here. They'll have a hard time. So they need to kind of isolate and pick off. Like, this side is really good, actually. If I were Xiphos, I might grab my 2 Pegasus Knights and overload this flank because, you know, Crone's over here. I would just use, like, Spears and Chaff on that side. So Archers, in the meantime, good to be shooting at Witch Elves. Great targeting there from Xiphos. And the Peasant Mobs of Bretonnia are going to be thrown in and certainly will be thrown to the dogs, as they usually are. So here they come. Go, Peasants! Charge forth! Get your charge bonus of 1 or whatever it is. Yeah, but the Peasants here are going to be torn apart. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, poor guys. 9 Peasants die instantly from the charge. But they're doing their job, you know. They tar pit. They're going to eat up that rampage. It's going to be just good and tasty here. And Alberic jumps in a little bit dicey, though. I'm not sure if I would have done that if I were Xiphos. He might have actually just thrown the game here. So Alberic charges in. He takes Crone Hellebron's blows to the face. Cold One Dread Knights are all around him. And yeah, he's going to be countercharging with Pegasus Knights, but I don't know if he's going to be able to stabilize here. Alberic taking a ton of damage. Very, very scary stuff. Oh, a beautiful trident from Alberic coming in, wrecking those Witch Elves and surfing down the front line, even getting some of those Bleak Swords. So a beautiful trident, just one-shots his Witch Elves. Man, that was masterful. And on the other side, Xiphos is winning the fight as well. Holy Warden's coming in. So many things going well for Xiphos. Plus, he's also able to get the Royal Pegasus Knights and just clean up shop here with the companions. So aside from Alberic, things are going very well. And as a matter of fact, it looks like it might be a quick Bretonnian victory. So Alberic's going to be pulling back here, getting away from the Madness of Cain. Just kind of, I would just yield this part at this point. It's pretty much a loss. But if he can win the other areas of the battlefield, he'll be in good shape. So Cold One Knight's going to be crashing into the Peasant Archers here. You can see Hot in Pursuit are the companions plus the Royal Pegasus Knights. That trident was a thing of beauty, and the trident of Manon does a ton of damage. So the Dark Elf front line is crumbling. Bleak Swords are going down here as well. And you can see these Cold One Knights are going to be pushed off. So Bretonnia needs to form like a second Helm's Deep now, because they are ahead on the balance of power, but the Dark Elves have a pretty scary push coming in. Dread Knights, just all sorts of stuff. But Peasant, Spearmen at Arms are still holding firm. The Beast Slayers are over here. They can be pulled over as well. And Alberic giving bonus first large to all these like cheap spearmen. Plus, also guys, you have to remember the companions of Cornelis here now actually have bonus first large from Alberic. So they're just suddenly these armor-piercing beasts with bonus first large, which is going to be so good here. So Crone Hellebron coming in with her Cursed Sword and doing some decent AoE damage. The one thing that I think Xiphos could throw the game with is if he does lose Alberic. But aside from that, if he just plays very conservative, uses Alberic as kind of a support unit to terror out and to cycle charge weak targets, I think he should be in pretty good shape. So currently Balance of Power is in the favor of Bretonnia, and we are in a blob fight now. Pegasus Knights are thinking about charging in. Yeah, they're going to go in for a charge here, hammering into some of those guys. Alberic coming in against the weak infantry, which I think is a great choice as well. Hitting those guys, he's going to terror out them. He's not really being threatened at all. I think that's the right choice. So yeah, the balance is going more and more into the favor of the brave sons of Bretonnia, as the peasant mobs do come back, and peasant archers going to be unleashing torrents of fire into these guys, which is quite solid. And yeah, look at this. Bretonnians holding firm. Spearmen are just dragging down Cold One Knights. Companions have bonus first large. Pegasus Knights have that bonus first large, which is great. The Damsel's still in good shape. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty quick victory for Bretonnia. Man, that is pretty wild. The Alberic freaking trident just wrecking that front line was insane. Plus the Pegasus Knights isolating the weak side of the formation over here was huge. Like the fact that he was able to get those 2 picks there while not taking the worst casualties on that side where he was overloaded. Beautiful stuff. So Alberic, in the meantime, going to be pulling back and probably just cycle charging the Crone from here on out, I would imagine. There are some Cold Moon Knights left, but the Companions are just so meaty. They're healed, and when Alberic's nearby, they get that bonus First Large, which makes them pretty much out-trade Cold Moon Knights. And yeah, here comes Alberic. Alberic coming in. And that's going to be game. So guys, Xiphos is going to be our grand winner for today with an awesome Bretonnia victory. Alberic coming in, Pegasus Knight build, frickin' anti-large Companions, Peasants just holding the line for the lady. Man, that was really good. That was really, really good. So let us go ahead and update the scoreboard. Well played to those two players. Xiphos, the winner of Season 2. A very good series versus Mokip. Mokip played a great game. Oh, did Mokip not bring a caster? Oh my god. That's weird. Maybe that was a mistake. Well, if I had seen that, I certainly would have harped on that. But nonetheless, maybe he knows something I don't. But all right, so Xiphos is going to be elected as one of our elector counts. Let me go ahead and add him here to the name. Congratulations, Xiphos. That trident certainly worthy of the lady. Alrighty. Did that? Oh, what's going on with that name there? Let me fix it. Alrighty. So Xiphos is going to be our 6th elector count today. Well played to him. Big congratulations. He'll be advancing on to the grand finals, which will probably be sometime in December. And Eric Fusco, another donation coming in during the game. My apologies for missing it. He says, Forza Lady, great stream today. Thank you, man. Glad to hear you enjoyed the stream, and certainly going to be streaming more this weekend. And also a donation from Pickle Cannon to clarify Marmite, not Marmalade. It's superior. Pickle Cannon, thank you, man. I'll take note of that. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today. No, I'm gonna rest my hands, guys. Yeah, he needed a caster for sure. That would have been huge. Like, imagine just getting a fat Soul Stealer in those blob fights. Like, there's no reason, I don't think, not to. This is a pretty scary list of elector counts. Absolutely, it's gonna be a really good final. So I'm excited. We got 2 more weeks as well. We got 2 more weeks. So let's also officially update the bracket, and Xiphos will move on to the grand finals. I'm going to go ahead and say GG to the competitors. GG, well played. You're welcome. See you in the finals. All right, Xiphos, our champion here. And if you guys want to see Xiphos play again, he'll be playing at Everchosen this weekend. Certainly a contender for the top place, we'll find out. And yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm really excited for that. So, on that note, let's take a look. Felcon, Vishy Satsuma, Undertaker, Hadries, Aerocrastic, and Xiphos are our elector counts for Season 3 of the Eternal Challenger League. And we're going to be just moving on. So, guys, remember this weekend, we're going to be having the Everchosen Invitational. For details on that, make sure to head on over to Total War Official. They have all the details, timeframes. It should be starting, I think, around like 4 or 5 p.m. British Standard Time. So it'll be like morning here in the States, like midday, nighttime for Europeans. So I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but I'm going to be flying out tomorrow, so there'll still be content over the course of the week. It'll be 1 video a day instead of the usual 2 or 1 in a stream, but nonetheless, I'll have content going for you guys all week. But again, guys, I just want to sincerely thank you all for joining. It was a really fun stream. Drop a like on the way out if you don't mind. It really does help me out quite a bit. Eric Fusco, Pickle Cannon, Torsten, SSIO, Simon Benjamin, Jerry, Ben Watterson, Category, Eldrin Mist, Yuri, Goosey Young, Jack Conroy, King Adizal. And then last but not least, we of course have a donation coming in from on PayPal. Let me find it. It was down below. Hold on. From Modex. Thank you guys so much for your very generous donations and support here on the stream. Stay tuned for quick battles, meme videos, all kinds of good stuff. Yes, I will be commentating the Everchosen, and it's going to be a blast. Short Andrew, Hunt for Andrew. I just have wrist problems. I have really bad tendonitis and a ton of damage in my wrist from playing football and riding a motorcycle in a car accident. So I usually can't play games for more than like 3 hours in a row. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Remember, believe in Sigmar. He shall reward the loyal, or apparently the lady today. She did pretty good there in the finals. And we'll see you guys this weekend. Everchosen. Let's go.